FAU. I really think it's going to come down to which team can punch first. I think whoever gets on top first can kind of grab that momentum, especially here in Game 1. You're looking to see who strikes first, and this just seems like a perfect opportunity for this Gator-loaded lineup to showcase its offense, showcase some of those bats that either got a bunch of accolades last year or got them this year.
And you go to that number, the Gators have won 37 of the 39 games this year that they have scored first. Georgia is 26-6, and in the last time they played in a super regional, it was Georgia who struck first and struck often, and they were the only team that struck that year. But it's two completely different rosters. Tony Baldwin at the time was not the head coach of Georgia. He's since taken over. He was previous the associate head coach under then head coach Lou Harris-Champer. That time, when Georgia had won, they had gone to their 5th Women's College World Series. They're looking to head back to OKC for the first time since that point. And it comes down to also experience. You know, we mentioned Taylor Shoemaker, who's not experienced as super regional, but in this Gator lineup, Kendra Falvey, Jocelyn Erickson, Reagan Walsh, Mia Williams, Ava Brown, Corby Otis, Kenley Cahalan in Alabama, Riley Holtorf, they have all played in a World Series.
Tons of experience. Yeah, and you're even thinking about Kenley Cahalan, who last year was on the Crimson Tide, but that Crimson Tide team made it to Oklahoma City. You look at a team like a player like Riley Holtorf, another player who has that experience, and that is so valuable here. And on top of that, this Georgia lineup doesn't have a ton of experience. They're a younger team, so will that moment be a little bit too bright for them? I mean, it was not bright enough last weekend against Duke. They were able to take the game, in especially some clutch moments in that final game. But Florida has been there, done that. Let's see if they can continue to ride that momentum that they've had. They've also been sleeping in their own beds. That makes a big difference. They've been able to stay here in Gainesville, get a full week of practice in. I mean, it's just going to be an opportunity for Florida to really punch their ticket and then punch it in a pretty astute and strong way.
And Tony Baldwin, Tim Walton, they know each other fairly well. The head coaches on either side, both were head coaches of the U.S. Women's National Team. They actually roomed together on some of the road trips, including when the Women's National Team had played in the World Championships. First pitch is going to be about 5 minutes past top of the hour, about 11:05 a.m. Eastern. And the Gators trying to punch their ticket. Can't today, but if they win today, it can set up a win for them that would send them to the Women's College World Series. One thing to note here for Georgia. Of late, they have limited the walks, but of any team in the SEC as a pitching staff, they have walked more than any other staff. 219 walks coming into the weekend. If Florida can find themselves on base through free passes, the Gators have generated 277 walks. Only one team has walked more in the entire country. The Gators certainly have a favorable opportunity to come up with some crooked numbers here today. So, of course, for a third time in school history, it's Florida and Georgia for a chance to go to the Women's College World Series. Can the Gators find their first ever win against the Dogs in this round? Everything is on the line. The crowd continues to file in, not quite at the peak of the heat here in the morning hours, as breakfast with the Gators will soon turn into brunch, into lunch, and then hopefully a victory. We'll step aside here on the On Deck Show. When you come back, you hear my conversation with Gators head coach Tim Walton. We dive into the opponent. Of course, the two lefty stars for Georgia, Randy Rolling along with Lily Backus. Gators have a lot of experience against Lily Backus. Those two will see the most of the innings. Keegan Rothrock, of course, will see the start for the Florida Gators as well. So plenty to dive into with the head man in his 20th season. That's coming up next, getting closer to Game 1 of this Super Regional, Florida-Georgia, the Gators Sports Network from Learfield.
Carla only has the best tech. Can't connect to network. But she didn't have the best internet. So she got Cox multi-gig speeds to power all her... Now, all her tech is connected. Give your tech the speed it deserves. Get our top-tier internet with Cox multi-gig. 2 gig download speeds, individual speeds vary. See Cox.com for details.
Hi there, I'm Coach Steve Spurrier and a proud Campus USA Credit Union member. This year, Campus USA is celebrating their 90th birthday. That's 90 years of serving the Gator Nation. Campus supports the Gators and our community. All UF students, faculty, staff, and alumni are eligible for Campus USA Credit Union membership. So what are you waiting for? Become a member and join the party. Join today at campuscu.com. Insured by the NCUA.
Domino's Mix and Match menu has items for every occasion. Flaked on your friend's open mic night? Flaky bread twists and molten lava cakes should do the trick. Soccer team duty? Medium 2-topping pizzas and stuffed cheesy bread are your best defense. Is it your dog's half birthday? Celebrate his biggest day with savory sandwiches and tender specialty chicken. Mix and match 2 or more items for $6.99 each at Domino's. Ask for this offer. 2-item minimum prices. Participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. Bone and wings, bread bowl pasta, and pan pizza will cost extra. Local stores set delivery fees and can charge extra for some menu items.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Paid for by FDOT.
Welcome back to the On Deck Show. It's time for our exclusive pregame interview with Florida softball coach Tim Walton.
Breakfast with the Gators here, Super Regionals, Game 1, Florida and Georgia. Kyle Crooks now joined by Gator head coach Tim Walton. You know, recreating last week, I'm sure that's part of it, and what you got in the regional, scoring 30 runs, played the minimum amount of innings, but a different task here with Georgia. Positives you took away from week 1 of the NCAA postseason that you want to kind of recreate and bring to this weekend?
Yeah, I really liked the lineup and the way the lineup played off each other. I thought we really continued to just carry the lineup all the way through the at-bats of all 9 hitters. You know, all 9 hitters had some really good key pivotal at-bats. Riley Holtorf had a really good 2-out walk to turn the lineup over for ultimately what turned into be a Jocelyn Erickson, game-ending grand slam. Just being able to pass the bat, continue that, and again, I think that the 2 keys for me are leadoff ons and leadoff offs. Keep the leadoff hitter off base and get our leadoff hitter on base, and it ultimately produces more runs and gives up less runs.
Well, Coach, a rare season you don't see Georgia in the regular season. You saw them a bunch last year. Rosters are a little bit different, and when you look at them and how they got through the regional, what do you see from the Dogs on the other side?
Well, just the ability to understand, the regular season and the postseason. They're different, and again, what you do in the regular season hopefully propels you into, just continuing to learn about your club, learn about yourself, and get better. And they did a good job, obviously, getting through a tough, really tough Duke squad on the road. And I think that just says a lot about where they're at right now.
Prominent in their staff, 2 lefties, and I've been interested. I've kind of asked this question to a lot of people in softball, but you hear a lot about in baseball, left on left, and that neutralizing the hitters. In softball, is that the same way? How do you guys attack when you see heavy lefty looks?
Yeah, I mean, it's different. Obviously where the ball comes from, the movements, the spin patterns, things like that, and ultimately, a really good left-handed hitter can neutralize a really good left-handed pitcher can neutralize a really good left-handed hitter, just like that. So I think ultimately it's the ability to stay on pitches, use the whole field, not try to go the other way with the pitch, let the ball go where it wants to go, because it is spinning typically a little bit different away from your swing path. So now, with that being said, right-handed batters against left-handed pitchers, sometimes that plays to their swing path. So there's a lot of little chess games and little pieces that you got to be able to kind of play through. But we've worked really hard, obviously all week long, of matching up with not only just the 2 left-handers, but the rest of their staff as well.
You look at your pitching staff, some really good moments last weekend. Coach, what do you need? I'm sure everything's on the table. Every arm is available and ready to go. What do you want to see from your pitching staff, hopefully, for the Gators over these next 2 days?
Yeah, I think ultimately it's just setting the tone, and strike one, and then be able to make them hit your pitch. I think that's the one key that, when we've had issues, it's either free passes and or, being able to leave the ball too much over the plate. So we've got to be able to do a really good job of being aggressive, pitching through our locations, being not trying not to, but trying to make their hitters hit our pitches.
And final one, Coach, but you look at their numbers as a pitching staff, the walks are high. Going into this series, do you preach patience for your hitters and understanding what the scouting report is and try to find a way to work free passes?
The walks haven't been high lately, so I think that's one thing that we've really, looking at the last 10, 12 games, what their pitching staff's done. They pitched extremely different than they have, in the previous first, 50-some games. So, no, we never go into a game plan of like, hey, we're going to walk. We always talk about being able to understand, who a pitcher is and what they want to do. If they want to walk us, they're going to walk us. If they want to let us get hits, we're going to get hits. If we need to be aggressive early in the count, we're going to be aggressive early in the count. I think ultimately it's just, see how they handle the nerves, see how they handle the postseason, and then for me personally, it's just get a good pulse on where they're at. Are they landing their pitches the way they need to be? Do we need to be a little bit more patient on the 2-0 counts, or do we need to just go up there and just get a ball over the plate and drive it? And I think that's the game plan coming in, and see kind of where we where we land. Batter number 2.
Yeah. All right, Coach. Appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thanks. Go Gators.
Game 1 of the Supers coming up. Lineups and first pitch on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Motorcyclists, bicyclists, pedestrians, and commercial vehicles all have the right to be on the road and travel safely. Motorists, watch out for bicyclists and pedestrians, allowing 3 feet of clearance, and be on the lookout for motorcycles. Never attempt to share a lane with one. Drive cautiously around commercial vehicles. Don't cut in front and stay out of their blind spots. When we're on the road together, safety is a shared responsibility. Let's all make it home safely. A message from the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles.
It's the season for new growth and nature nesting. Daughtry Tree wants to remind you to look up. Please check your tree canopy that no limbs are closer than 5 feet off your roof or gutters. Those close limbs are an invitation for bugs and rodents to nest and damage your home. Call the local experts. Trust Daughtry Tree Service for all your tree trimming or removal questions at your home or business. Call today for an appointment. Visit DaughtryTree.com. That's DaughtryTree.com. Daughtry Tree, your tree service people.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Gator Sports Network.
This is head coach Tim Walton, and Florida Gator softball is on the air on Gator Sports Network from Learfield. Now let's head to the ballpark and go inside the broadcast booth for the call of the game.
Here we go. Everything is on the line here this weekend. The Florida Gators are back in a Super Regional and will take on their bitter rival, the Dogs from Georgia. Florida, Georgia, for a chance to go to the Women's College World Series, and it all starts now with Game 1. Back here to KSP, that's Sky LeBron. I'm Kyle Crooks, getting closer to first pitch, coming up in a few minutes from now, about 11:05 a.m. Eastern. So a late breakfast here with the Gators as we get set for a crucial Game 1. Randy Rolling against Keegan Rothrock here in Game 1. Of course, a lot of history that will be talked about a lot between these two. Third time they'll meet in a Super Regional, all-time in postseason history. Georgia has eliminated the Gators 3 times, including once in a World Series. Gators have never beaten the Dogs in a Super Regional. They're 0-4 with 2-game sweeps for Georgia in 2016 and 2021. So today can change a lot of things for the Florida Gators, the 3rd overall national seed. Sky, we bring you in here for the first time, getting ready for a first pitch. Your thoughts on the scene, the rivalry, and the setup we have going into the weekend?
I mean, the rivalry creates itself just with it being Florida-Georgia. Important to note that for both of those teams, and you brought it up in the pregame, different head coach for Georgia, completely different squads both in 2021 and 2016. The offense was an issue for Florida, and I just don't see that being as big of a problem here today, especially with how we saw the series go last year against Bacchus. I understand Rolling's having a fantastic season, but this is a loaded Florida lineup that we're going to go over in the bottom half of this inning, and Georgia on the other side doesn't have the crazy lineup that you may think, but they were able to get hot as of late. I think it's just going to be which side can gather momentum early.
Gators come on to the field, and before we get to starting lineups, let's step away 10 seconds for station identification, 10 seconds for ID from Learfield. This is Florida softball.
Your home for Gators softball. WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF 1037 HD2, and on the WRUF radio app.
Jamie is our producer back at our WRUF studios. Keegan Rothrock is inside the circle and going through a warm-up tosses. Take a look at Tony Baldwin starting 9 here for the Georgia Bulldogs. Enter at 34 and 21, winners of the Durham Regional. They are in their 3rd consecutive Super. Dallas Goodnight leads off, will play in center field, a .351 hitter. Lindy Ray Davis leads the team in walks at 42 this season. She'll be the DP bat second. Tyler Ellison, the second baseman, hits third. Jaden Goodwin, the left fielder, cleans up. Sarah Gordon in right field will hit fifth. Emily Digby, the shortstop, in the sixth slot. Marissa Miller, who's thrown out more base stealers, potential base stealers, than any catcher in the conference, will bat seventh through the catching. Emma Castori is the first baseman, hits eighth. Moo Williams is the third baseman and will bat ninth. Randy Rolling, the pitcher, inside the flex spot, opposed by Keegan Rothrock.
Gator fans, here's the defensive alignment for the Florida Gators today, brought to you by Father and Son Fence Supply, covering all of North Central Florida's fencing needs. Call 352-855-1106 to receive your quote today from Father and Son Fence Supply. From left to right in the outfield, Corby Otis, Kendra Falby, Taylor Shoemaker. Left to right in the infield, Kenley Cahalan over at third, Riley Holtorf at short, Mia Williams at second, and Reagan Walsh at first. Jocelyn Erickson doing the catching from the starting pitcher today for Florida, and the number one that's been in the arsenal these past two seasons, Keegan Rothrock.
Gators in the blue tops, white pants, Florida in orange cursive script across the chest, the orange numerals on the front and the back, the orange collar to the top of those blue jerseys, the high blue stirrup socks with the orange and white stripes. Georgia in the all black batting helmets, the red numerals on the front and the back, the red names on the back as well. Dallas Goodnight is ready. Keegan Rothrock is ready. First pitch is a little bit high and tight. Off we go here in the Super Regionals, best of three. You win two, and you find yourselves in a World Series. Home plate umpire today is the familiar name in Brian Crochet. 1-0. That steers over the outer half. 1-1 strike. Dallas Goodnight, a .351 hitter. 2 homers and 11 driven in. Speedy lefty slapper at the top. 1-1 on its way. She'll swing. Foul one off the fist back to the screen. And it's 1-2 strikes. Rest of our 4-member umpiring crew. It's 4 umpires here in the NCAA tournament. Aaron Peterson is at first. Stephen Gould is at second. And Joe Haverhill is over at third. Rothrock extreme third base side. Spins the arm. Popped up, back and left, and that'll get out of play 1 and 2. First Super Regional on this Friday of a packed slate. Not a lot of fans were ecstatic with the thought of the first 2 games starting a little past 11 a.m. Eastern, but the fans have showed up in a big way. Corners even with the bag for a 1-2. Goodnight swings and loops one over Tony Baldwin, third base side, foul off the camera roll.
Yeah, I was going to say, this place packed up quick. Was worried about 10-15 minutes before. Looked like there's still going to be some empty seats behind home plate. Those have really filled up over the last couple minutes. Not quite the peak of the heat. 85 degrees at first pitch, just south of noon Eastern. Rothrock shakes off the first. A 1-2 coming to the lefty Goodnight. And here it is. That's bounce foul, third base side. A late emergency hack off the end of the bat, and that'll careen all the way to the left field corner. Nice 6-pitch battle right now between Rothrock and Goodnight, the senior, coming off a fantastic season and a multi-hit game in the most recent one versus Duke. To go to, if necessary, Game 7 to beat the nationally seeded Blue Devils. Rothrock steers in a 1-2. And Goodnight got hit on the arm. They're going to call her back, saying she leaned into it. And I think that's a good call. It's going to be ball 2. Goodnight leaned that front arm. There's no argument from her. And, yeah, she stretched that arm out across the inner paint. Tony Baldwin comes out. He wants a conversation with Brian Crochet, who made that call quickly and, well, with confidence. Yeah, it's that elbow, poking that elbow out. So it's 2-2. Last time we saw Rothrock, she struck out 6 in the regional final against Mercer. 2-2 to the plate. Swing and a miss. Rothrock goes upstairs, and after a long battle with the leadoff hitter for the Dogs, Dallas Goodnight, it's goodnight to her here in the morning. Wow, that was a fantastic change of events for Florida. You go from thinking that you hit somebody and having one parked with nobody out in the top of the first to a strikeout, which is the best way to get some defensive momentum. Went to that high rise. Here's now Lindy Ray Davis, lefty bat. Rothrock, the righty, spins in the first, a strike, inner edge at 73. Rothrock, rise and low rise, fastball, curve, drop, and change. Started all 3 games of the Supers last year when the Gators 1-3 against Baylor. Next to Lindy Ray Davis is outside, 1-1 strike. Lindy Ray Davis is a patient hitter in this 2 spot, the prototypical 2-hole hitter. Has walked 42 times this year.
That's near tops in the SEC. The graduate student, 1-1, late swing and miss. Ripped it past her at 70.
Yeah, wasn't patient on that swing right there. That looked like it was outside the zone.
6 of 14 was Lindy Ray Davis in the regional with a home run and 4 runs driven in. Hitting .285. 1-2 offering. Here's a strike. Lower reaches in the zone. Back-to-back Ks for Keegan. What a way to start this super regional round.
Especially this part of the order. You just brought it up, Kyle. Lindy Ray Davis earns a ton of walks. Not going to fire on somebody or swing on something unless she sees a really good pitch. Saw a couple good pitches there and got held up on that last one.
2 up, 2 down, 2 strikeouts. Here's Tyler Ellison. Ready bat, first pitch, screws off the outer half at 71. We're scoreless, 2 gone in the top of the first inning. Game 1 of this best-of-3 Super Regional Series. Brings in the second baseman, Tyler Ellison, a .289 hitter. Has hit 8 home runs this year. Corners even with the bag here for a 1-0. A sword, half hack from Ellison goes around, a pitch with down movement at 73. That radar gun is sizzling right now in left center field on that video board. Junior is Ellison from McDonough, Georgia. Pitch, low and inside. Ball 2. Average dipped under 300 for Ellison in the regional. Just 1 of 11 did have an RBI in the Durham regional. 2-1 of the plate. Change up just a little bit out at 56. First
sure
time we've seen that change of speeds from Keegan.
Not sure exactly where that one missed. Might have hovered a little bit outside the plate.
Well, for Ellison has waited her turn. 8 home runs, a huge jump in production for her this year, batting third. Open stance righty. The next pitch is lofted on a line right field. Angling back is Shoemaker to make the catch over that tricolor visor. The sunglass rests on that tricolor visor as well. A few steps back, and Shoemaker able to make the grab. So a great start for Keegan. 2 Ks in the inning and a line out to right as we are a half inning complete. It's the Dogs nothing and the Gators coming up when you return.
I can't, in good conscience, sell something that I know is not going to keep its value.
That's Keith LeClaire, who is one of only a handful of jewelers around the country who refuses to sell lab-grown diamonds.
The value of these things tumbles so fast.
The fact is, a natural diamond, a product of Mother Earth, takes billions of years to create. But now, machines that make lab-grown diamonds are creating them in a matter of days, leading to worldwide mass production. So if you're getting engaged or celebrating a special occasion, you need to be aware of what you're buying, what it's worth today, and what it'll be worth a year from now.
Nobody will buy your diamond. No jeweler, no dealer, nobody. So if the experts won't buy them, why would you?
Fads come and go, but your love is eternal. Let IDC help you celebrate that love with a diamond that is just as meaningful, as valuable, as rare, and eternal.
Providing value and protecting our customer from making a big financial mistake was my job, and I feel like I've done that for 43 years.
International Diamond Center at Celebration Point.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Dogs nothing, Gators coming to the plate for the first time here in Game 1 of this best-of-3 Super Regional Series. The Hall of Famer Tim Walton has this lineup, which is the same as what we saw in regionals. Kendra Falby will lead off and play in center field. Taylor Shoemaker is in right, will bat second. Shoemaker is 1 home run off tying a home run record, 3 RBI off tying the Ribby record here at Florida. Jocelyn Erickson does the catching, will bat third. She heated up over the regional, 15 home runs, 59 RBI. Reagan Walsh cleans up, will play at first. Mia Williams with 19 home runs, plays second, bat fifth. Ava Brown, the DP, hits 6. Corby Otis batting 7th in left. Kenley Cahalan at third, hits 8th. Riley Holtorf, the shortstop, bats 9th. Rothrock in the flex spot, opposed by the lefty, Randy Rolling.
Yeah, and Rolling will be throwing to Marissa Miller. She's today's starting catcher for the Bulldogs. Let's go from left to right in the infield. Will Williams at third, Emily Digby at short, Tyler Ellison at second, Emma Castori over at first. From left to right in the outfield, it'll be Jaden Goodwin and left, Dallas Goodnight in center, and Sarah Gordon over and right. Today's designated player for Georgia, Lindy Ray Davis.
Georgia in those all blacks today. Gators blue tops, white pants. Sun splash Friday morning. That'll turn into afternoon. And what a great way to start your morning than have Kendra Falby at the plate. Getting set to stand in, having a career season. Top 10 for National Player of the Year. Did not get into the top 3 for National Player of the Year. But boy, top 10, that's a pretty incredible feat. Infield is in for the lefty slapper. Left on left. And the first here to Kendrick Colby. Jogs through, takes a strike, knifes that inner half. 0-1. Randy Rolling, curve, screw, rise, and drop. Also a changeup. Gators will face a lot of looks from the left side between Rolling and Backus. The next from the lefty is popped up third base side. Angling over is Mua Williams and runs out of room. That scrapes off the netting, foul, 0-2. Rolling was a former Cal Bear. Sophomore at 5'9", pitched in a big role in those wins over Duke. Winners bracket game, went the distance through 8 innings and an if necessary Game 7. The offering is just a little high at 63. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kendra Folby. So in this, Rolling's first year with Georgia has played a giant role. Allowed just 2 earned runs in 8 innings in that Game 7 against Duke in the regional. The southpaw deals. Falby swings, loops one to second, pitch, and Ellison makes the catch. That was in off the handle for the opening out here in a scoreless bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, the weird piece of contact there off the bat of Kendra Falby, and you're right about Randy Rolling, sophomore who's coming off that great game, 102 pitches against the Blue Devils, pitched those full 8 frames and gave up just 5 hits. So this is not an easy matchup for the Florida lineup.
Here's Taylor Shoemaker now, the freshman phenom. Left on left, first pitch, spins over that outside corner at 63. 0-1. 387, 21 home runs, 83 RBI. Is closing in on a Florida record in home runs and ribbies. Rolling fires, an 0-1 in the dirt and low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Florida just needs to keep playing in order for that record to be shattered. And that pretty much makes it necessary that Florida's got to win this series if Shoemaker wants a chance. Not that she really cares about that right now.
Outfield very deep and straight up. The next pitch just a little south of the knees at 64. Miller tried to frame 2-1. Well, along with Riley McCoy of Oregon, Audrey Vandegrift of Alabama, the National Freshman of the Year, 1 of 3 as a finalist. A 2-1. Jackknifed her out of the way, underneath the hands, ball 3. And this is where Georgia has found some trouble, not necessarily of late. And if you heard our interview with Tim Walton, they've improved their walk numbers over the regional and over the last 10 or so games, but last in the SEC in walks allowed. Hitters count on a 3-1, bases clear and a scoreless first. Pitch off the inner half, and Shoemaker walks.
And that might be where Shoemaker is most effective in this sense. You best believe that Georgia is zoning in on their premier hitters, and Shoemaker and Kendra Falby, those players that get on at a nearly 400 clip. Maybe they don't pitch to them as much as you might expect, and that just puts runners on base.
Here's now Jocelyn Erickson playing in another super regional. Lefty bat. First pitch hitter. Well, there it is, Sky. Again, we talked about it. Some of the issues here, and the Gators are second in the nation in taking walks, also with hit batters as well up there in the country. And Erickson has been hit 13 times. That's tied for a team best, along with Mia Williams, that hit her right on the armor.
Yeah, can't say that she leaned in. She was kind of ducking out of the way on that pitch. And these are golden opportunities, golden eggs at first and second, with just 1 out. Reagan Walsh and Mia Williams, 2 power hitters up next in this Gator order. If you can get out to this early start, that just gives things a little bit more of a leash for a pitcher like Keegan Rothrock, who already got started off really well in the first.
Well, one of your keys was scoring first, and the Gators do so. They're 37-2 this year. And also free passes, they get this crowd involved. When the Gators at the plate have high walk totals, it leads to crooked numbers from the land of the obvious, but facts are facts. First and second now, 1 out in a scoreless bottom of the first for Reagan Walsh. Right-handed power bat, Randy Rolling comes set inside that black glove. Unleashes to the plate. Walsh takes high, ball 1.
Yeah, and Reagan Walsh so good in SEC play this year. Second highest batting average on the team, was so productive. A 388 average, 31 for 80.
345 overall this year. A 1-0. Tails outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Last year in the Super Regionals, as we'll have another meeting inside the circle after already a meeting that preceded it, Chelsea Wilkinson, the pitching coach who was the starter Sky for both of those wins in 2016 over the Gators, she's back in this ballpark and now has to have an early meeting here with Rowland.
And that just showcases how important the Bulldogs are taking this situation to not give up an early lead, because you know how much this momentum plays into the latter stages of the game. I mean, it's just going to be huge. And Reagan Walsh already ahead with a 2-0 count. Now, if you're Coach Walton, what do you say to her?
Yeah, so Coach Walton, having met with the base runners and Reagan Walsh, who was 3 of 8 in the Supers last year, at homered, had 2 RBI against Baylor, 2 runs scored, had a great postseason a year ago. Crowd getting into it early. First and second, rolling deals. High and away, ball 3. So after the meeting, same result, it's 3-0. And over her last 8 games, Reagan Walsh is 12 of her last 24. That's a .500 average. Pitch. 3-0 red light, takes a strike down center at 62. Shoemaker at second, Erickson at first. Another 3-1 offering. Right at the knees, count full.
Nice job by Rolling that time. Getting it back full after behind in the count 3-0 and throwing a ball after the second straight pitchers meeting.
First teamer in the SEC, Reagan Walsh. Awaits from the right side on a payoff. Swings, blast one deep left field. No doubt about it. Oh, that one sent into orbit from Reagan Walsh. And the Gators strike first in game 1. It's 3-0 Florida.
Could not ask for more from Reagan Walsh there. Went ahead 3-0, fell in a couple pitches. Randy Rolling was able to work it back full, and goodbye softball. Right over the pitcher's lab, just crushed Reagan Walsh.
Wow, that thing hit off the back slope of the pitching lab on the roof. And Reagan Walsh has hit another home run in an NCAA tournament game. Had 2 last year as Mia Williams takes high.
And like you said, Kyle, once you get ahead early, you really get the fans, the crowd into it. You can feel the jolt of energy from KSP.
1-0 here to Mia Williams. 1-0. That's high and in. 2 balls, no strikes. The Gators have now hit 104 home runs as a team. That is the 3rd most in school history. They have 6 batters with at least 10 home runs. Reagan and Mia being 2 of those, the most in a lineup in school history. A 2-0, late swing and miss, and it's 2-1.
Now if you're Randy Rolling, and if you're this pitching staff and the coaching staff, you really got to figure out how to tune down the energy here to prevent this thing from getting out of hand early.
2-1 to Williams. Swerves low and away, change up at 55. So first hit is a home run. Boy, the Gators feasted on home runs, Sky, in the regional, in those 30 runs scored. That's just what this Gator team does. The next offering high and in. Williams walks. Gators picking up where they left off last weekend in the regional.
Yeah, that home run ball, though, like you were mentioning, huge for Florida this year. 103 long balls on the season. And after giving up that 3-run crusher to Reagan Walsh, probably laying off there was Randy Rolling for Mia Williams.
First pitch to Ava Brown, righty bat. That surfs that outer edge for a strike 0-1. 3-0 Gators, bottom of the first. 3-run home run from Reagan Walsh. There's just 1 out here in the home first inning. That was Reagan's 14th home run. Pitch, 0-1 changeup outer paint for a strike, 0-2. Ava enters in, meanwhile, Sky, in the best stretch of her career, at least, I should say, of this season. 7-game hit streak. 8 of her last 20 with 4 home runs during that span. 0-2. She'll tip this back to the backstop. Remains 0-2.
Yeah, 4 home runs for Ava in the last 6 games played. Also in that 7-game hit streak, 7 RBI in that span. Nice to see her get her bat going.
Mia Williams with a 5-pitch walk at first. 3-0 orange and blue. An 0-2 is lobbed in the air. Shallow right field. Sarah Gordon first step back, then comes in to make a basket catch for the second out of the bottom of the first. So, 3-run home run from Reagan Walsh has given the Gators a opening lead, and sometimes that takes away some of that pressure of a super regional, like you said, when you strike first. Here's now Corby Otis looking to have a big super. Open stance righty bat. First pitch is high, 1-0.
You know what else it does? It makes you forget a little bit about history. We talked about that 2021 year where Florida couldn't even score. The offense was such a problem. If you want to flip that narrative at all, you do something like this in the bottom of the first.
Here's a 1-0. Otis eyes one low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Otis, 7 of her last 37, but you could sense in the regional was starting to turn things around. Had a hit in the regional final, walked 3 times, had a double, went to opposite field. A 2-0 offering, check swing takes high, 3-0. Again, those doubles and extra base hits aren't there for Corbs. She has found her way on all year. Team best 48 walks for the future cardiothoracic surgeon. Williams at first and a 3-0 from Rowland. That's a strikeout or paint. Late strike call from Brian Crochet. 3-1. Taking on her former teammate who's standing out in right field, Sarah Gordon. Those two both played at Louisville. Early action in the Georgia bullpen. 3-1, curves out, ball 4. That is the 4th free pass of the inning. Williams heads down to second. 5-pitch free pass. Now a team best 49th time that Otis has walked, as Rachel Gibson was getting warm for the Dogs, who already find themselves down to the bottom of the first, 3-0.
Yeah, and you talked about, with Coach Walton, the approach for free passes.
Here's Kenley Cahalan. First pitch to the lefty bat. Dives low and inside near the dirt, and 1-0.
And Coach Walton talked about how it's not something that you're planning for. You don't go in with hey, they give up a lot of walks, so let's plan a walk. But hey, if it's happening, that's when you start to get more patient.
1-0 to Cahalan. Checked her swing, and we'll say she went around on a changeup. Tim Walton disagrees.
I disagree, too. It looked like she wasn't able to lock. She didn't lock her elbows there. That's a touch one.
No appeal down to third. That was the home plate umpire's decision. First and second, 3-0 Gators home first. 1-1. Late swing and miss. Pitch diving down to Cahalan. 1-2. 3-run home run from Reagan Walsh over the pitching lab in left field to get the scoring started. And early trouble here for the Dogs. A much different tenor than 2021. 1-2 plateward. Skips in. Missed inside, 2-2. Also, this was the round last year that Cahalan came alive at a big super regional and a massive upset against Tennessee. It was 5 of 13, had a 3-hit game and a decisive game 3 for the tie. Timing mechanism on, deep breath from Rolling on a 2-2. Changeup wanders out, and the count now full.
And a 35-pitch first inning for Randy Rolling. Maybe a little bit more work than Georgia expected for her in this first.
Can Cahalan have a big back end here to post-season play with first and second? Gators up 3-0 home first. To payoff. Late swing and miss. Rolling goes up the ladder. 8 batters to the plate in the opening inning. Big swing. The only hit in the frame, a 3-run home run off the bat of Reagan Walsh. Her 14th home run of the year. No doubt about it. Almost cleared that pitching lab and left. When it lands, it's Florida 3, Georgia 0 through 1, game 1 of the Supers.
Hi there, I'm Coach Steve Spurrier and a proud Campus USA Credit Union member. This year, Campus USA is celebrating their 90th birthday. That's 90 years of serving the Gator Nation. Campus supports the Gators and our community. All UF students, faculty, staff, and alumni are eligible for Campus USA Credit Union membership. So what are you waiting for? Become a member and join the party. Join today at campuscu.com. Insured by the NCAA.
Carla only has the best tech. Can't connect to network. But she didn't have the best internet. So she got Cox multi-gig speeds to power all her... Now, all her tech is connected. Give your tech the speed it deserves. Get our top-tier internet with Cox multi-gig. 2 gig download speeds, individual speeds vary. See Cox.com for details.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM. WRUF.
Gators 3, Georgia nothing. As we now head to the top of the second inning. 3-run home run from Reagan Walsh. That's a good way. Forget about coffee. That's one way to get your energy pumped up in the morning with a Reagan Walsh blast. And also, it might be a little early, but it's never too early for Conecuh sausage, which is always great on the grill. A fan favorite for tailgating and a proud partner of the Florida Gators. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork and is smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true southern flavor. Pick up a pack at your local grocery and enjoy a Conecuh sausage dog while watching the Gators. Visit online at ConecuhSausage.com.
Fantastic segue, Kyle.
Just think of it as a noon football game. I mean, you eat hamburgers, hot dogs at a football tailgate, and what are you at 8 a.m.?
Well, what's a hot dog? It's a sausage.
That's right.
Is it?
But we're only eating Conecuh sausage this morning at our tailgate.
Right now, you know what else will get your energy pumped up too? A 2-strikeout first inning from Keegan Rothrock, especially when it's the 2 top bats in the order. Dallas Goodnight, Lindy Ray Davis both sat down by way of the K from Keegan. Want to see her get off to a nice quick start. Don't want to see her give up free passes. And now with the meat of the order due up, you like what you saw in that first frame.
Here's Jaden Goodwin. Left-handed hitter, 3-0 Gators top 2. Keegan Rothrock back to work. First pitch. Lasers down center for a strike, 0-1.
71 on that pitch.
Yeah, she has been as high as 73 on that radar gun. Goodwin was the hero of that if-necessary Game 7 against Duke. The next to her. She'll swing, swat one off the strings behind home, 0-2. She had the decisive home run in the 8th inning against the Duke Blue Devils, was 5 of 14 in the regional. Is someone who just does not strike out in that cleanup spot. 9 Ks and 180 at bats. It's quickly down to the hole, 0-2. Keegan had 2 Ks in the first. 2 strike-off right. That's popped up behind home, and that'll sail out of play. We mentioned 85 degrees at first pitch. Humidity not at its peak quite yet, and the wind is whipping out towards right field today as we look at the American flag standing tall in right center field. Not a whole lot of swing to the palm trees out in center. Keegan swirls that softball on her right hip, comes set in the glove, 0-2. Foul tips in and out of the glove of Erickson. Had she hung on to that, would have only been the 10th time Goodwin has struck out all year, the 3rd toughest decay in the SEC. Hit .291 in SEC play. That's 6 home runs against conference opponents. They're 7-16. 0-2. Caught on a miss. Spoken into existence. 3rd strikeout for Keegan Rothrock. Pitch diving low and in. And Rothrock has struck out 3 of the first 4. So that's the Quality Plumbing K of the game. Quality Plumbing providing the highest level of plumbing services throughout the greater North Florida region since 1984.
So impressive. What a start from Keegan.
Righty bat Sarah Gordon takes the first pitch, strike down center at 67.
Another thing that Coach Walton brought up, that first pitch strike playing a huge role early for Keegan, just setting the tone with these bats.
Working quick, spins the arm. Right at the knees for a strike, 0-2. You can sense in that regional final, Keegan Rothrock found some sort of confidence that has been fleeting all year in a season that saw her miss a month with injury. Extreme third base side, directs in an 0-2. Foul back to the screen as Sarah Gordon stays alive. Former Louisville Cardinal and teammate of Corbiotis has hit in 5 consecutive games. One of the hotter hitters in this lineup. 7 of her last 14. Gators a 3-0 lead. 1 out, bases empty, top 2 on a Reagan Walsh 3-run home run. 0-2 at lasers low near the dirt, gets past Erickson. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, Gordon 6 for 13 in the regional. Got 3 of those 6 in the last game in the winner-take-all matchup versus Duke. 3 for 4 with a run scored.
Gordon hitting .345, has blasted 9 homers this year. 1-2 to the plate. Fouled at home plate. Bounds to the backstop. Remains 1-2. You can just sense there's a little extra giddy up to some of the movement and spin here for Keegan Rothrock in the early going, which is a tremendous sign. Has struck out 3 of the first 4. Georgia looking for their first base runner here in the top of the second. 1-2. Swinging a ground ball to second. One hop Williams to the right. Will field and flip on to first for the second out. It was a hot shot one hopper. Williams was pinched up the middle. Just one shuffle step to her right would throw to first for an easy 4-3.
And the backhand with the glove still directly in front of her. A nice play for Mia Williams and a good transfer on the 4-3.
Gators a 3-0 edge, top 2. 2 gone. First pitch, Emily Digby. Right-handed hitting shortstop was a strike. Knifes that outer half.
72. It's really working. Those just pitches right down the middle have been absolute heat from Rothrock so far.
Ultra consistent here in the early going. One strike pitch. Digby eyes a strike, lower outside corner. 72 once again. The outfield, meanwhile, swung to the right here for Digby. Falvey playing towards right center. Big gap out in left center field, so playing her to go the opposite way. 299 hitter. Right on an 0-2. Jam foul off to the right near the on-deck circle. Remains 0-2 to the sophomore Emily Digby. Hits in 7 of her last 9 games. She was 7 of 11 in the regional. 3 of the 4 games played for the Dogs. They had at least 10 hits in the Durham Regional. 0-2. That hitter. Boy, that hit her so hard, the armor popped off of her front arm, and that'll be the first base runner here for Georgia. It's a hit by pitch of Emily Digby.
Yeah, that one came in at 67, and that might be a little inaccurate. That was a hard pitch. And yeah, just popped that very edge of the elbow guard right off and behind her. I don't even know if she noticed it.
And while the kryptonite for Georgia's free passes, same could be said for Keegan Rothrock. And this Florida pitching staff has not been a great year in terms of walks. 9th in the SEC in walks allowed. Brings in now the righty hitting catcher. That's Marissa Miller. Gators a 3-0 lead, top 2, runner at first. First one unleashed home, and that's ripped off to the right foul. 0-1 to Marissa Miller. Breakout year for her. Has made a career high in starts, hitting .303. 47 start today. 0-1. Strike at the knees. 0-2. 3 of the first 4 that Keegan faced, she struck out. 2 outs in the inning. Does she have another K? Season high for her is 6. Extreme third base side, runner at first. 0-2 is popped up behind home plate, and that'll sail out of play.
Everybody clap your hands.
Gators looking to add another year out in left center field where all those World Series seasons stack up. 0-2 offering. Foul tipped. Hung on to by Erickson for strike 3. 4th K for Keegan Rothrock. Trending for a career performance here in a Super Regional. That one low and missed her spot by a mile, but was able to get the foul tip and hung on to by Jocelyn Erickson. 4 of the first 7 to the plate have been struck out by the Gator ace. We are now middle of 2. Gators in the early driver's seat in game 1. Lead 3-0.
Riders, your next adventure starts at Gainesville Harley-Davidson. The 2025 Harley-Davidson lineup is here and packed with power, style, and that legendary ride you crave. New to the road, we'll help you find the perfect first bite. Seasoned rider, come check out the latest models built for ultimate freedom and performance. Whether you ride for the thrill, the journey, or the lifestyle, your Harley is waiting, and our team at Gainesville Harley is waiting to help. Visit GainesvilleHarley.com to learn more. Gainesville Harley-Davidson, let's ride.
After studying the sacred Italian flavors using the freshest herbs and pizza dough light as air, we bring you Bowilicious, the Bowilicious Bowie Pizza. Now in Gainesville, order the classic margherita, the savory meatball and ricotta, a pesto with fresh mozzarella, or a decadent dessert pie. Order online now or come and dine in. Bowie Pizza at the corner of 13th and 16th Avenue. Come for lunch, stay for dinner. Taste Bowilicious for yourself at Bowie Pizza.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Back here at the ballpark, KDC Show Presley Stadium, the setting this weekend, whether it's 2 games or 3 games. Best of 2 of this 3-game set. Gators lead 3-0 as we now slide to the bottom of the second. Reagan Walsh, a 3-run home run over the pitching lab in left field off of Randy Rolling, who goes back to work, the lefty. And so far, so good. One of the keys in this series is hitting left-handed pitching. The Gators coming in sky 100 points worse against lefties than righties, but so far that has not come to play because of the erratic nature and what we've seen rolling all over the place.
Yeah, and it's not like they've been hitting her around already. There was only that one hit. It was the 4 free passes, and like we said in the pregame, sometimes you just got to let it happen. Let the game come to you in whatever style it happens to take form of, then you adjust accordingly, and we're seeing Florida do that. Now they can be a little bit patient unless we saw something change from inning 1 to inning 2. 34-plus pitches in that frame for Randy Rolling, and we'll see how long the leash is before maybe they decide to yank her and go into the bullpen.
Rachel Gibson was getting warm in the first. So 3-0 Gator lead home second, 9-1-2. Riley Holtorf leads off, right-handed hitting shortstop against the lefty Randy Rolling. Sets inside the black glove. Winds and fires a strike blower outside corner at 62. Riley tries to get back to a World Series. Had gone to a Women's College World Series at Washington. It's her final year of eligibility. 1 strike pitch is high and in. 1-1. And what a season, what an impact that Holtorf has had. Been up and down defensively at times, but has locked in defensively, as has the infield as a whole of late. Rolling steers back. 1-1 is well too tall and high. Almost went to the backstop. Nice snare by Marissa Miller. 2-1. Graduate student from Peoria, Arizona. Former Arizona Player of the Year. Gatorade Player of the Year in the state. 2-1 right down the chute at the knees at 62. 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Holtorf. It was a year removed from being first team All Pac-12. Hit .336 a year ago, .315 this year. A 2-2 to the plate. That's smashed in the air, foul left field corner. Bangs off the side windows of the facility. You gotta straighten that thing out, Riley. It was well left to the Stacey Nelson Plaza. Underway, bottom 2, 3-0 orange and blue with the bases clear. Pitch. Fouled off the glove of Marissa Miller to the backstop, remains 2-2. Grew up playing high school and club softball at the ages of 9, 10 years old with current Gator catcher Jocelyn Erickson. They both got a chance to go back home earlier in the season, play at their old high school, Sandra Day O'Connor. Rolling comes set, unleashes on a 2-2. Skips in, well off the plate outside, count full. And this is what she's done of late. Work counts. In the last 14 games has walked 7 times. Just 2 of her last 20, but again has been able to get on base. Flip the lineup over. Payoff part 1 is a swing and miss out in front of a changeup. Rolling pulled the string and gets the first out, as she did in the first inning when she got Falby to line out, and then that's when the chaos ensued.
Yeah, back-to-back strikeouts, though, for Rolling, dating back to the bottom of the first, striking out Kenley Cahalan. But now, yeah, you got to do it again against Kendra Falby, who rarely gets retired twice in a row.
Most hits of any active Division I player for the lefty slapper Kendra Falby, with the bases clear, 1 gone. Bottom 2 up 3-0 in the Gators. First pitch, tails high and away at 62. 1 ball, no strikes. A team captain that has lived up to the billing. Team best 437 on the average. Team best in on base. 86 hits this season. Chokes up slightly on the bat. Rolling's next. Is a swing and a looper over first. That's parachuting wide of the chalk foul, right field side, 1-1. She's reached base in all but 2 games this year and has hit in all but 5 games. On a 6-game hit streak is Kendra. 8 of 21 during that span. Still creeping closer to that Florida stolen base record. We have not forgotten about that. She's 2 away from tying Skylar Wallace. Infield in, 1-1. Out in front of a changeup. Swings through it for strike 2. 333 career hits for Kendra Falby. Only behind one player in Gator lore. That's Kelsey Stewart. Rolling deals. Swinging a chopper at home plate, foul. Bounds to the backstop. Only one of 3 players in the history of this storied program to have at least 300 hits in a career. Amanda Lorenz, when it was all said and done, a different type hitter, along with Kelsey Stewart. Boy, that's a power trio. Lorenz had 301 hits in her career. Infield still creeping in, awaiting a 1-2 pitch from Rowland. And here it is. Falby swings, lines one, a short diving catch from Emily Digby to her left. He's creeped in at shortstop. One step to her left, lunging down in the infield dirt to make the catch, and there's 2 outs.
That looked like it might have hit the glove of Rolling at first. It looks like it might have just gone wide of it. Nope, did not touch Rolling's glove. A nice diving play from Digby.
Here's now Taylor Shoemaker. Walked on 5 pitches her first time. Gators up 3-0, bottom 2 and a 3-run home run from Reagan Walsh in the first. Bases are empty. Left on left. First pitch steers inside, ball 1. Just amazing when you think about first time through a regional for Taylor Shoemaker, and she made it look like it was any day at the park. Open stance lefty bat, awaits on a 1-0. Well high and away, and here with 2 outs and the bases empty, you wonder if she might just face another free pass here. But for Shoemaker, 4 hits in 7 at-bats, 3 home runs, including a multi-homer game against Florida Atlantic. Now has put her for 21 on the year. A left on left at 2-0. Underneath the hands, ball 3.
Yeah, they might not give her much this weekend because of that regional play.
Good thing is you got the protection right behind it. Jocelyn Erickson, who stands on deck. Has had a few 3-0 green lights. Be a 3-0 from Rowland. That's a strike inner paint. 61, just scrapes that inner edge. 5 multi-homer games in her first year. Top 3 finalists for National Freshman of the Year. Awaits on a 3-1. This is in. Back-to-back free passes of a 5-pitch variety to Shoemaker. Second plate appearance for her. And now it's Erickson who was hit her first time. Tony Baldwin walks out of the circle. Here with 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Gators up 3-0.
Yeah, 5 free passes already, 4 walks, that 1 hit by pitch to Erickson that you just mentioned. And right now we're not seeing anybody in the lab right now getting warmed up.
Yeah, it was Rachel Gibson in the first, but right now this seems to just to be a pump-up meeting here for Tony Baldwin. Will try to squeeze as much as he can out of Rolling. About 127 of the 180-plus innings that have been thrown this year have been by, well, 2 pitchers.
Yeah, they don't have much behind them. I mean, you got Destin Howard, but she's appeared in just under 12 innings. Or else you could maybe turn to Rachel Gibson, like you mentioned, 43 innings of work.
Gators did a lot of their damage in the regional with 2 outs. Have 2 outs here. Shoemaker at first and a 3-0 lead, bottom 2. Jocelyn Erickson, lefty back. Rolling, spins in the first. A strike, upper reaches of the zone, 0-1. Last time we were sitting in a booth together when the Gators played the Dogs, Jossie had one of her biggest swings as a Gator. Gators down to their final strike with the series on the line, on the road, and homered. 1 strike pitch. Change-up, strike down center, 0-2.
Yeah, that was, what a series that turned out to be. We saw some really nice hits on both sides. Jaden Fields, I remember that home run that she blasted in game number 2, I want to say, or 1.
Part of a 7-run 7th inning that day for the Gators. 0-2 is swung through, and Erickson goes down on 3 pitches. That one off-speed diving down. 3rd strikeout for Randy Rolling, and the inning is over. Gators do leave a runner. They left 3 on here to the first 2 trips to the plate. Rolling's only given up 1 hit. The only difference was it was a 3-run home run. We're now through 2, and on that 3-run Reagan Walsh blast, Gators 3, Dogs nothing. To the 3rd we go.
Domino's Mix and Match menu has items for every occasion. Flaked on your friend's open mic night? Flaky bread twists and molten lava cakes should do the trick. Soccer team duty? Medium 2-topping pizzas and stuffed cheesy bread are your best defense. Is it your dog's half birthday? Celebrate his biggish day with savory sandwiches and tender specialty chicken. Mix and match 2 or more items for $6.99 each at Domino's. Ask for this offer. 2-item minimum prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. Bone and wings, Red Bull pasta, and pan pizza will cost extra. Local stores set delivery fees and can charge extra for some menu items.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Back here in Gainesville, it just feels right. Every late spring heading into the summer, it's like we all convene for some of the biggest games of the year. The Gators are just gotten used to hosting Super Regionals, something as a fan you just can't take for granted. As the 3rd overall national seed, the Gators and the Georgia Bulldogs unseeded in this Super Regional. 3-run home run from Reagan Walsh in the bottom of the first inning has put Florida out in front early. And my man, Sky LeBron, he's been eager, ready to go. He was in this booth at about 6 a.m. getting set for this matchup, and he has the play-by-play in the 3rd and the 4th.
I slept here. I don't know
you
what
did.
you're talking about.
You beat me to the booth today.
Way too early. 8-9-1. Due up for Georgia in this top of the 3rd. 3-0 lead for Florida over Georgia, trying to take game 1 of this best-of-3 Super Regional. Winner gets a ticket to Oklahoma City. It'll be Emma Castori, Mua Williams to round out the bottom of the order, and then we flip back up top. But first is 8 and 9, and Reagan Walsh, through the first 7 batters that she's faced, she's retired 4 of them by way of the K. Also has a line out and a ground out, has hit 1 batter. That's the only base runner so far for the Bulldogs. So to go, Emma Castori. First pitch is just a bit too far upstairs. That might be the first pitch strike, or first pitch in an AB that turned into a ball. 1-0 to Castori. That one lasered way down, though. 2-0 to count. Castori, 229 hitter. Doesn't have too much in terms of ABs on the season. 11 for 48. 2-0. Upstairs, 3-0. Castori, the sophomore from Buford, Georgia, did have 1 at-bat in the last game against Duke. 3-0 from Rothrock. Takes a strike on the lower inside corner. Castori already was heading over to first. Rothrock, as of late, hasn't been a huge strikeout pitcher. So, very hot start for her with 4 already. 3-1. Swung on and missed. Working it back full is Rothrock. Last time we saw Keegan in the game against Mercer went 4 1/3. 3-2. This one is lasered over to right field, not having to run for it, instead just lightly jog over to her left is the right fielder Taylor Shoemaker, and 1 away here in the top of the 3rd.
Yeah, what a way to get back in that at bat. You're down 3-0, and then all of a sudden things seem a little bit erratic, but Keegan then pumps in 3 consecutive strikes and gets the first out of the inning. That's key, keeping that leadoff base runner in the dugout.
Now it's Mua Williams. First pitch strike, outer half to the freshman. Not to be confused with Mia Williams. This is MUA, Mua Williams from Hawaii. 0-1. Low part of the zone for strike 2. 1 for 3 game against the Blue Devils. Had a really solid opener in her first ever regional. 2 for 4 against Coastal. 0-2. Tapped back foul toward the netting. Count stays put. Not a cloud in the sky right now, Kyle. Couldn't ask for better weather between these two teams. Florida, Georgia. A lot of hatred between these two, but a lot of nice weather in the sky right now that makes you just kind of happy. 0-2 misses low, 1-2.
Yeah, doesn't feel all that hot. Looking at the futurecast, 95 degrees is the high today, but maybe that's sort of the perk of the first few innings here. You're not facing, again, the peak of that heat.
1-2 to Williams. This one off the end of the bat over to the second baseman on a couple of hops. Mia Williams from Mua Williams over to first. Goes 4-3. And now 3 straight retired from Keegan. As we flip back to the top of the order, Dallas Goodnight was sat down on a strikeout swinging back in inning number 1. And now Goodnight will try to prevent herself from going 0-2 to start this game. 3-0 lead for Florida off of a 3-run homer from Reagan Walsh in that bottom of the first. First one is bunted right side. They're just going to let it roll past that first base line. And now 0-1 the count.
Yeah, luckily for the Gators, that thing just kept tailing foul. And if that stayed fair, that's the game plan for Dallas Goodnight in that slapper position. Ultra quick down the line. If she sees what she wants from the infield and the way it's positioned, she'll bunt her way on.
30 stolen bags on the year for Goodnight. The senior from Decula. 0-1. Tap back foul, 0-2. Goodnight. 351 average coming into this game. With 4 doubles, 4 triples, 2 home runs, only 11 RBI, of course, at the top of the order. Kind of the norm. 0-2. Fouled back again. Goodnight. Straight up stance. Wonder with these uniforms for Georgia, all black except for the red. Of course, these darker colors attract more sun.
Yeah, it's tough.
That heat.
Gainesville heat.
Will that play a factor? 0-2. Outside, opposite batter's box. 1-2 on a pitch that came in at 73 from Rothrock. Rothrock now sitting on 51 pitches through 2 2/3 of work. 2 away, bases empty. 3-0 lead for Florida, top of the third. Skips in front of home plate. 2-2 the count. Rothrock has sat down Goodnight once before. That was in the first. Also sat down the batter after her and Lindy Ray Davis. The sophomore to the senior. Just outside. Now count full. Nice job by Goodnight working her way back after falling behind 0-2. Can the Bulldogs get a little bit of momentum here in the top of the third? 3-2. This one tapped over to Holtorf. She grabs it, undercuts that ball, and able to get her offhand over the top of it. Immediate transfer over to first. 6-3. And a 1-2-3 inning in the third for Keegan Rothrock, as she's been lights out so far. Able to hold on to that 3-0 lead going into the bottom of the third. Game 1 of the Super Regional here at KSP between Florida and Georgia.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell Groom's Cake Ice Cream is renewing its vows on the frozen aisle. Milk chocolate ice cream with chocolate cake pieces, chocolate-coated strawberry hearts, swirls of strawberry sauce, and chocolate icing. See you at the reception.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Florida out in front, bottom of the third. They're due up as well, 4, 5, and 6, leading off with Reagan Walsh, who had a 3-run crusher in the first. Florida leads it 3-0 against rival Georgia in the Super Regional. Game 1, I'm Sky LeBron. He's Kyle Crooks. Gator fans, you looking for a trusted sign company? Gainesville Neon and Signs has been serving North Florida since 1964, and now they're proud to be the official sign provider of the Florida Gators. From custom signs and lighting to vinyl graphics, wraps, and repairs, Gainesville Neon and Signs handle it all. Count on them to bring your brand to life with quality signs that get noticed. Well, only one hit combined between these two teams, 2.5 frames into this game. Reagan Walsh, though, what a hit that was. A 3-run blast, dinger number 14, over the left field wall, over the pitching lab on the very back end of it. And now she's up to bat again against Randy Rowling. Rowling, deep breath. And this one will hit top part of the zone on a pitch that falls in at 63 miles per hour against Reagan Walsh. Walsh came into this one batting .345. That's up to .349 after that last hit. Outside, skips in the dirt, 1-1. Was solid in the regional. Didn't have a home run, though. 3 for 7, 2 runs, an RBI. Was walked once, hit by a pitch, had a sac fly. Still productive for the senior. As this one's tailed left side over the third base bag. That'll go foul. 1-2 the count. Walsh, really the type of season she had. It was a single or a home run year. Didn't have many extra base hits apart from that. Does have those 6 doubles. Most of those came in non-conference play. 1-2. This one is popped up, middle of the infield, left side. Digby crashes in, and that's the first out. Here in the bottom of the third, Florida leads it 3-0, and Mia Williams up next.
Yeah, credit to Rowling. Has sort of got her footing back a little bit after that first inning where 8 batters came to the plate at 4 free passes in that first inning. The Gators have not had a lot of sharp contact since.
So that'll bring up Mia Williams with 1 out on the board. And that ball skied into center. Barely having to move, just 1 step to the left. Dallas Goodnight underneath it, and down on 1 pitch goes Mia Williams. Very helpful for Randy Rowling, who has had a laborious first couple innings. Her pitch count's already up to 62.
Can you use that in a sentence for me?
Laborious?
Laborious.
I just did.
Another sentence.
No, I can't. Ava Brown up next. Flew out to right. First pitch up and in to Brown. Just got over the 300 batting average mark before coming into this one and flying out. Had a home run in the Mercer game. Next pitch outside, 2-0 to Ava Brown. Was able to get to double-digit home runs, was Ava Brown. Players that have been tasked with a lot. Just another one in this program for Brown as she takes a strike on the lower half. Brown last season, .241 batting average, gets that to .301 coming into today. 13 home runs, 10 this year. Less at-bats overall, as this one is missed by Marissa Miller. 3-1 the count now to Brown.
I just look at Ava Brown as a gamer, right? She played in a lot of big games in high school, but you just see the way she is in the circle, the amount of high-leverage innings that she's pitched, high-pressure moments she's been in as a pitcher. She just lives for games like this.
3-1. Skied up left side behind the concourse. Count worked full.
And it just shows with what she did in the regional. You know, this past weekend, had a couple of home runs, 5 RBI, 2 runs scored, a hit in every single regional game.
Looking to extend a 7-game hit streak right now. Full count from Rowling to Brown. Fouled off. Might have came off of the faceplate of Marissa Miller. And she's going to get a second to just gather herself. That's Brian Crochet checking on her. home plate umpire. Otis on deck. But you brought it up, Kyle. That's 3 straight retired. 5 of the last 6 for Rowling. As Miller gets a nice extended break there after taking a hard pitch off the faceplate. We'll reset. 68 pitches now for Randy Rowling. 3-2, 2 outs, bottom of the third. 3-0 lead for Florida. Ava Brown trying to extend this inning just a bit more. Popped up left side. This one looks like it will come off the netting. It was slowly tapering toward that way. Marissa Miller was trying to get to it, just not in time, off by a hair.
Corby Otis had to scramble out of the way. It was like a fire drill over there in the on-deck circle as that ball was landing almost right in her lap.
So a couple times fought off now by Ava Brown. She lines this one up. The pitch. Shot right side. That will tail foul as well. Just into that right field corner. That ball was absolutely blasted.
Again, the contact, the swings that she's had. Somebody who's not been consistently in the lineup this year with how things changed with roster construction and the like. And boy, that's changed here over the last month. She is every bit of now an everyday player in that DP spot.
Trying to show up big here. The pitch from Rowling. Right up the middle. And past the shortstop. Digby doesn't make a throw on a twist. And a 2-out single for Ava Brown. Now in deep into the middle part of the infield to keep it alive.
That's now an 8-game hit streak. Season high for Ava Brown. Just a high chopping ball, deep and short. This back up the middle, just a really good at bat. Sitting, waiting on that pitch, and just pounded that thing right back up the middle. And passes the baton here with 2 gone to Otis.
Just the second hit off of Randy Rowling so far for this Gator lineup. A lot of free passes so far given up by Rowling, though. Here's Corby Otis. Otis takes a ball way outside. Otis was walked her first time up. So that broke up a little bit of a nice streak that Rowling had going in the last couple batters. Brown over at first, and a ball that just misses outside to Otis.
Only hit Otis had in the Supers last year was a home run against Baylor. Had a home run against the Dogs a season ago, had 4 hits against Georgia in 4 games.
2-0. Runner at first, 2 outs. And a hitter, but they're going to say that she might have leaned a little bit into that one, so it'll be a strike, a foul ball.
Yeah, might have clipped the bat there on the handle.
So count at 2-1. Florida with a 3-0 lead off of a 3-run homer from Reagan Walsh, the senior, showing up big here in Gainesville. 2-1. Off speed, falls in at 54. I don't think Otis liked the call too much. Count stays even at 2-2 with runner at first in Brown. Here's the pitch. This one tapped off a home. And this one right in front, slipping and falling is Rowling, trying to get over to it. That'll be an infield single for Corby Otis on an awkward hit. It advances the runner over to second. Ava Brown now in scoring position, and Otis over at first. That would have been a really tough play for Rowling to make, even if she didn't slip.
Yeah, it was a swinging bunt that time from Otis out in front of home plate, and was Rowling who came downhill to field it, and almost like a Three Stooges skit, like she was slipping on a banana peel, just fell as she fielded. It wouldn't have gotten Otis anyway, but moving down to second, Brown wasn't able to get an extra 60 feet as Rowling was able to quickly pop back and get her footing, and Tony Baldwin comes out once again to have another conversation. But 17 of the 30 runs that were scored in the regional all came with 2 outs. The Gators have another 2-out opportunity here, could not get extra insurance in the first inning with 2 outs. Cahalan had come up with 2 outs in that inning. It struck out to end the frame here, but Florida's put together back-to-back infield hits. Can you squeeze together now a crooked number here with 2 outs in the third off of Rowling?
This is a huge spot for Kenley Cahalan. Struggled a little bit as of late. Since the beginning of the LSU series, which was a couple weeks ago now, a few weeks back, that's 9 games, 5 for 23. That's a 217 average. Did have a hit and an RBI against Mercer. Now you got runners at first and second with 2 out. First pitch is low to Cahalan. On deck is Riley Holtor. Brown at second, Otis at first. 2 singles that didn't really leave the infield. One up the middle from Ava Brown and one right in front of home for Corby Otis. Kept this frame alive, 1-0. Laser down the first base side, foul. 1-1. Otis struck out swinging, the first strikeout victim of Roland today. He's gotten 2 since. Eric Thomas doing a quick discussion out of the dugout to Holtorf. 1-1. This one down the first base side again, and once again, foul. Florida would love a bigger lead than what they currently have. 3-0 doesn't feel very secure in the playoffs.
Well, this is an area where Cahalan has just seemed to find herself in. Runners on, 2 outs, 2 strike count.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and miss. Down goes Cahalan for the second time today. And Randy Rolling right now controlling this bottom part of the order. A combined 0 for 3 on 3 strikeouts. So Florida can't put up a run in the third. They do get 2 singles and leave 2 runners stranded as they maintain a 3-0 edge over Georgia in Game 1 of this Super Regional. And we head into the 4th. Florida and Georgia trying to punch their ticket to OKC.
Carla only has the best tech. Can't connect to network. But she didn't have the best internet. So she got Cox multi-gig speeds to power all her... Now, all her tech is... connected. Give your tech the speed it deserves. Get our top-tier internet with Cox multi-gig. 2 gig download speeds, individual speeds vary. See Cox.com for details.
We all expect quality in our service providers. The word itself means the degree of excellence of something. Now throw in the word plumbing after that, and it would mean the excellence of plumbing. And that's exactly what our community has been getting for 4 decades from the fine folks at Quality Plumbing. Now you can always spend time and money trying to fix things yourself, or you can call the professionals at Quality Plumbing and get it done right the first time. Quality Plumbing since 1984. Their name says it all. License number CFC 043073.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Florida leads it 3-0 going into the 4th in Game 1 of this Gainesville Super Regional. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Station ID, you're listening to Florida Softball.
Your home for Gators softball. WRUF Gainesville, W251CG Gainesville, WRUF 1037 HD2, and on the WRUF radio app.
I'm Sky LeBron. He is Kyle Crooks. And one crooked number in the bottom of the first. Reagan Walsh with her 14th home run over the left field wall. Put Florida up 3-0. Apart from that, a couple singles for the Gators, but not much else offensively. Meanwhile, for Georgia, still looking for their first hit here in the 4th frame. Keegan Rothrock has been working really well. 4 strikeouts through those first 3 innings. Got 2 weak ground outs and a fly out back in inning number 3. She's pitching like a well-oiled machine, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, this is when everybody says Florida can be a national championship contender, they always put the caveat if Keegan Rothrock looks like she did last year and perhaps more. And you're seeing flashes back to what she was a season ago. 3 innings, no hits, no walks, had that 1 hit by pitch, 4 strikeouts, already nearing a season high in Ks. But Keegan, the radar's up there, the spin looks good for her. Everything has been on point here to start her weekend.
Now we'll face 2, 3, and 4. Lindy Ray Davis is up first. First pitch strike, and that's been essential, Kyle, through these first 3 innings, those first pitch strikes. Ray Davis struck out back in inning number 1. Part of a scorching hot start for Rothman. And now, behind in the count is Ray Davis on a pitch that looked faster than what maybe the radar showed, 68. Just caught that outside edge. Here's the 0-2 as the Gator fans start to clap. And this one tapped over to second on a slide. Mia Williams, this one's off the first base bag. Williams just slipped up on the right side of that middle infield, and that'll probably go down as an error for Mia Williams. At least that's what I'm suspecting right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she just tripped over her own feet. That was a routine 4-3. I mean, a Sunday 2-hopper for me. She just fell down as she went to field the ball, and she just sort of panicked. She had time to just collect herself on a bent knee and throw to first. Instead, she just didn't grip the softball and just from the palm of her hand tried to shove it to first base, and those are some of the mistakes that can allow a Georgia team back in the game.
Pinch runner coming in for Georgia. We'll get you exactly who when we could see the number. It's number 10. So that'll be Molly Mitchell taking over. And that's a frustrating one if you're Florida. You feel like you did the right thing there. Got some weak contact, just couldn't get the out, and now you got other parts of the order as this one's into right field. Taylor Shoemaker works her way towards center, makes the grab. Having the retreat is Mitchell back to first, so it doesn't hurt them yet to have that runner over at first. And for a second there, Kyle, I thought that ball might be gone. And momentum back with the way for the Dogs, but not how it shook out so far.
Well, every ball in play besides one has been to the right side, whether it's been Mia Williams or Taylor Shoemaker. There's only been one ground ball to the left side.
First pitch is a ball to the number 4 hitter and Jaden Goodwin.
Tells me that a lot of late swings, a lot of emergency swings the other way.
Goodwin struck out in the second. And swings and misses there. 1-1 the count. Mitchell parked at first. Haven't been many base runners so far for the Bulldogs. Got to take advantage if you're Georgia. 1-1. That ball shot right side. That will be carrying. And at the wall, Shoemaker with a nice grab. Hand against the fence. Throw to first in time. 9-3. Reagan Walsh right there for the play. And Shoemaker makes it happen on offense a lot, but man, the defense is sweet too.
The presence of mind, Mitchell, a cardinal sin as a pinch runner. I don't know where she was. She was almost past second, and then Shoemaker hit the bullseye at first for a rare 9-3 double play to end the inning.
So Florida will maintain that 3-0 lead and try to extend it. As we head into the bottom of the 4th, Florida up 3-0 over Georgia here on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs out of your car.
Hey, Steve Russell here. I've seen a lot of great sports teams in my day, but it's really hard to find a team that can sustain excellence over a long period of time. That's why what Dave Mays Automotive has done is so impressive. This year, they're celebrating their 50th year in business, and I can tell you, they've done a great job for me, just like they'll do for you. Brakes, AC, tires, oil changes, and so much more, including their famous Bug Check, where they go over your entire vehicle to ensure there's no unexpected problems down the road. Dave Mays Automotive is located at 2905 Northeast 19th Drive, in the industrial complex behind the Sunnies on Waldo Road, and online at DaveMaysAutomotive.com. Dave Mays Automotive. They get the bugs out.
Dave Mays Automotive, we get the bugs, all of them bugs, out of your car.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Up 3-0 over Georgia, bottom of the 4th. 9-1-2 due up for the Gators. Gator fans, visit the Harn Museum of Art and enjoy free admission. See their newest exhibition, Silver Linings, celebrating the Spellman Art Collection, uplifting the talents of 28 black artists. Generous support provided by Art Bridges. See it at Art After Dark every Thursday until 9 p.m. Don't miss French Moderns, Monet to Matisse, opening this fall. Learn more at harn.ufl.edu. Well, Kyle, in that top half of the fourth, I feel like we saw both sides of the defense. A little bit of a blip to start the inning. Got Lindy Ray Davis on. A slip and fall from Mia Williams. And she was able to make it on. But then a couple plays later, Taylor Shoemaker, a grab at the wall with one of her arms on the fence, then throws it back to first after a blundering pinch running mistake made by Molly Mitchell, the freshman, and gets it over to first in time to Reagan Walsh for the 9-3 double play. Don't see that too often, but just goes to show when the defense maybe has that little bit of a blip, it also can provide the type of play needed to regain that momentum.
Yeah, everything that has been put into play except for one batted ball has been to that right side. And, for Mitchell, it's just a bad mistake as a pinch runner, knowing that base runners are at an absolute premium here against Keegan Rothrock, who's been the best that she's been all year long. I mean, you get a base runner there, and on a leadoff E4 there from Mia Williams, just kind of stumbles over herself, and the defense taketh and then it giveth there with Shoemaker. The presence of mind as a freshman, and see from her peripheral to see that the runner is so far off of first base, and that throw is not an easy one from the warning track. That thing didn't even come in on a hop. I mean, that was a bullseye right to Reagan Walsh for the double play.
Fantastic plays being made here on this Super Regional Friday. It's starting to get really hot here in Gainesville. Hopefully the Gator Bats will get hot as well. Starting off with Riley Holtorf, struck out back in the second against Randy Rowling. First pitch swung on, flown up to the left side in foul territory. Making it near the warning track is the left fielder, Jaden Goodwin. So down on one pitch, a fly out from Riley Holtorf, and Rowling has really got it rolling here in the third and fourth frames.
Yeah, just that one mistake to Reagan Walsh after she was erratic in the first inning is your difference.
So now Kendra Falby up next. Falby 0 for 2, 2 lineouts. One to second, one to short. Shows bunt there, pulls the bat back. Pitch misses way low, 1-0. Falby, as of right now, riding a 6-game hitting streak. Had hits in all of the games in the regional. Next pitch is a strike that falls in. 61 miles an hour. Had a double last time out here in Gainesville versus the Mercer Bears. 1-1. And this one is over to second. Nice underhand. Good play from Ellison to Castori. They had assembled that defense perfectly, just expecting what Kendra Falby can do. And now an 0 for 3 start here through the first 4 innings for Kendra.
Yeah, this is a game where Kendra Falby has not even been on base yet. I think best case scenario now for Georgia, you don't have to face Shoemaker once again with anybody on base. You can just sort of pitch around her.
And let's see if that's what they do. First pitch is way upstairs, so wouldn't be surprised if Shoemaker makes it her third walk in as many plate appearances. And that's something she might have to get used to throughout her career. 35 walks coming into this game and already added 2 more. 1-0. Way inside, 2-0. That might threaten her 7-game hit streak. Batting over 500 in the last 7 games. 2-0. Here's Rowling. Upstairs, 3-0. Taylor Shoemaker this season, 22 multi-hit games, including 10 of them in SEC play. Does it all. 3-0. Let's see if they give her something. That will fall in for a strike in her half.
Last time Shoemaker walked on 5 pitches, they went right after Jocelyn Erickson. It struck out on 3 pitches.
Rowling has come alive in the latter half of this game. 3-1 to Shoemaker. Inside, ball 4. 3 walks for Shoemaker. She's 3 of the 6 that have been allowed so far. I believe it's 6, right? Actually, yes. No, 5. 6 total free passes after that hit by pitch back in the first of Erickson. As now Erickson is up. 0 for 1 strikeout, like you just mentioned, Kyle, in the second. Shoemaker at first. Gators with a 3-0 lead with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. This one lasered and past the first baseman, Tastori, who can't handle it. I think that'll be called a single, even though it was pretty playable over at first, but that ball came in hard to Castori.
I think she was looking to make that break to the bag before she got it, and that'll be a hit for the Gators. Boy, that's a tough one for rolling. Castori had that thing go just above her belt, turned her hands over, hit her wrist, and rolled away. Now first and second, 2 on once again for Reagan Walsh, similar to the first inning.
Exact same situation. As this one shot but won't leave the infield, maybe just does at second. Digby underneath it. So 2 pop-outs to short in a row for Reagan Walsh after that 3-run homer in inning number 1, and the Gators not able to add to that lead anymore. No runs, 1 hit, and 2 left on as we head into the 5th. Florida still with a 3-0 lead. Keegan Rothrock still working well as we go deeper and deeper into this Super Regional. Back in a moment on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Gator Nation, this season it's time to act for the greater good. UF and GFL are making great strides to reduce our footprint, and you can help. Recyclable and compostable paper products, cups, straws, and food waste receptacles are available at the stadium. Look for the signs and put it in the right can, Greener Gator fan. Think green as you cheer on the orange and blue. Call GFL at 1-800-535-9533 or visit us at gflenv.com. GFL, green for life.
Domino's Mix and Match menu has items for every occasion. Flaked on your friend's open mic night? Flaky bread twists and molten lava cakes should do the trick. Soccer team duty? Medium 2-topping pizzas and stuffed cheesy bread are your best defense. Is it your dog's half birthday? Celebrate his biggish day with savory sandwiches and tender specialty chicken. Mix and match 2 or more items for $6.99 each at Domino's. Ask for this offer. 2-item minimum. Prices, participation, delivery area, and charges may vary. Bone and wings, Red Bull pasta, and pan pizza will cost extra. Local stores set delivery fees and can charge extra for some menu items.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Florida up 3-0. We're in the 5th. The offense just hasn't been there for Georgia so far. Part of that because of the excellent play of Keegan Rothrock through the first 4 innings. Giving up just no hits so far. There has been that 1 error. Allowed 1 base runner on. Just an amazing performance so far from Rothrock. Let's see if she can continue it going later into this ball game. I'm Sky LeBron. He's Kyle Crooks, and Kyle's going to take it the rest of the way with the play-by-play.
All right, thank you, Sky. Smiley, Stephen Peters doing his thing, the head groundskeeper formerly here at softball, now working a lot more on the football side. He's here today, though, helping out. He was doing his YMCA dance to, I believe this is Daft Punk, so he just sometimes you got to get creative with things. And he's still, traditions will never die here at KDC Show at Presley Stadium. You find a ways. 3-0 Gators lead, top 5. And Albert, the Gator, is right now standing on the camera well off to our left. He had his feet dangling off that camera well, and he's looking over KSP as if it is his kingdom. And looking down on those dogs of Georgia. The trail 3-0. Sarah Gordon leads off. First pitch popped up behind home, and this will drift out of play. Strike 1. Well, for Georgia, they had a base runner in the last inning on an E4. They've only had 2 base runners in this game against Rothrock. It was a second inning hit by pitch and a leadoff E4 in the 4th. 0-1 on its way. Gordon swings, uppercuts one in the air, shallow left field, long run for Corbiotis on a 100-meter dash to make a one-handed catch. She also has those shades on the tricolor visor, so the sun not affecting her all that much. And there's 1 away. So Sarah Gordon is retired. She's 0 for 2. Former teammates with Corbiotis. And now here's Emily Digby. Righty hitting shortstop. 3-0 Gators. First pitch foul tipped into the glove, hung onto by Erickson. You mentioned the journey in SEC play here for Georgia. They're just 7-16. They won a game in the SEC tournament, got walked off by Bree Ellis on a grand slam. 0-1. Full swing, fist one in the air, back and right. That's turning just off the mesh. Erickson tried to make a catch, but it was off the mesh, so it was a dead ball. Georgia hosted the SEC tournament this year and did not allow Bree Ellis, the star Arkansas slugger, to get a single swing until the final inning when she had a walk-off grand slam. They had to pitch to her. 2-strike toss, Digby, late hack, emergency foul back to the screen. And then find themselves to the Durham Regional. It's just a team that seems to play better in NCAA postseason play. Did not win a single SEC series, but never got swept. And that was the key. 2-strike pitch. That's away. Ball one at 71.
Isn't it awesome for that to be your narrative rather than the opposite way where you're awesome in the regular season, but you just can't get it going in the postseason?
I.e. in Arkansas is trying to get over the hump to go to a World Series this year. A ball and 2 strikes, 3-0 Gators, top 5. Bases are clear, and Erickson, there was some disagreement, I believe, on what Keegan wanted to throw. But again, if you're thinking about deja vu, if you're a Georgia fan, when they last went to the World Series in 2021, that same season they also won only 7 games in the SEC. They were 7-17. They were a similar underdog that year 4 years ago. Gators have never beaten the Dogs in a super regional. 0-4. This third all-time clash. Meeting adjourned inside the circle. Keegan, extreme third base side. Alicia's on a 1-2. Hoisted back and right and foul. Remains a ball and 2 strikes to Emily Digby, who was hit by a pitcher first time. SEC play, the Dogs hit .268 at 21 home runs. About the 9th best scoring team in a 15-team SEC, that in-conference play. Pitch. Goes around on a sword. That one tailing away with gas behind it for out number 2, and Keegan is 1 away from tying a season high in Ks.
How about that? You need this type of Keegan going into this super regional, and she has delivered and then some so far against a hot Georgia lineup that looked great against Duke.
2 gone, bases clear. Marissa Miller, right-handed hitting catcher, bounces one off the glove of Rothrock to the shortstop. Holtorf slings one on to first for the out. The unconventional 1-6-3, the assist from number 7. It glanced off her glove, then deflected to Holtorf back into her left, and on that redirection would glove it belt high on a high bound, throw to first for the final out of the inning. Keegan Rothrock faces the minimum once again for a second straight inning, and for the 4th time in her start, sits down the Dogs in order. We are now middle of 5. Gators, can they add on? Lead the Dogs 3-zip.
Steel deals are happening now. From instant savings on select tools to free battery offers on some of our most popular battery tool sets. You can enjoy great deals and do it all with Steel. Shop online or in-store at your local Steel dealer. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Gator Nation, celebrating our national championship.
Shop a national championship for Florida. For the first time in 18 years, Florida will cut down the nets. Winners of the national championship. 65-63 is the final score.
Congrats, Gators. You're 24-25 national champions. Go Gators. ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF. Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
No, Florida Spring Watermelon season runs from late March to the end of June. The Florida Watermelon Association is proud to support our state's growers and marketers by promoting fresh, delicious watermelon and helping its members thrive. Look for locally grown Florida watermelons and taste the sunshine in every bite. Gators lead 3-0 As we slide to the home fifth, 3-run home run in the first inning from Reagan Walsh. That is the difference. The Gators put their foot on the gas early, but it's been nothing but zero since. Meanwhile, for Keegan Rothrock, has only allowed a few Georgia base runners, is not allowed a hit yet. As we'll head to the sixth inning after Williams, Brown, and Otis at minimum get a turn here, but Georgia down to their final 6 outs on the flip side. As Rothrock, this is the longest hitless streak in her NCAA tournament career. 3 runs on 4 hits and error for the Gators. No runs, no hits, no errors for Georgia. Mia Williams is 0 for 1. Has walked in, flown out to center. That was on the first pitch she saw back in the third. Left on right, rolling, deals the first. That's high. 1 ball, no strikes. That's Skylar Braun. I'm Kyle Crooks. Happy that you can join us. Starting out with breakfast with the Gators, to brunch, to lunch. Hopefully not to dinner. That means we're here a long time. Rolling's 1-0. Williams shortens, pulls back, takes high, 2-0. And Williams, can she have a big super regional? Had a big home run last year against Baylor in the late innings in that 3-game series. Went 1 for 6 in the supers against the Bears. Corners pinch in. Rawlings 2-0 to the plate, and she got caught. That'll be an illegal pitch. Should be 3-0. She got caught and stopped her wind and then just stumbled to home plate, so that's ball 3. So 3-0 now to Williams. And she'll probably take, and she does. That's above the letters. Leadoff walk. And for the Gators now, that is the first leadoff batter to reach in an inning.
Wow, that's surprising. But, hey, you're just looking for a formula right now to get some insurance. And if it means keeping that ball or that bat on your shoulder for 4 pitches in a row, you will do that. If it means base runners. Like you said, that's been at a premium so far on both sides.
3-0 Gators, bottom 5. First pitch to Ava Brown. Righty bat is a strike at 64 down the middle. Ava extended her hit streak to 8 consecutive games after an infield single back up the middle in the 3rd inning. The next to her. She'll swing, jolt one in the air, deep center field. Good night to the wall, and it's gone! Ava Brown, another big swing in the postseason, and big-time insurance for Florida. Ava's 2-run blast gives the Gators a 5-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
5 home runs in the last 7 games for the sophomore. Her bat has been scorching as of late.
3rd home run of the NCAA tournament for Ava Brown. 11th home run of the season. She was the 6th Gator to get to that 10 home run plateau, the most in a single lineup in Gator history. That ball landing in the camera well to deep center field. And the Gators 5 runs now on 5 hits with nobody out in the 5th. First pitch to Otis is low.
And how huge is that one, Kyle? The 3-0, obviously, that's a big deal from Reagan Walsh. It really is going to set the tone in the beginning of the game. But to get those 2 extra runs of insurance so late in the game, just enormous.
1-0 to Otis is low, 2 balls, no strikes. We start saying downtown for Ava Brown because she seems to find downtown a lot. Whether it's to left field, that one to center. Right into the depths of that camera well at the batter's eye, right above the batter's eye tart. 2-0. Otis watches one outside. 2-1.
I guess technically she's aiming more towards like Shands to South Gainesville.
Just doesn't roll off the tongue.
If we're going to talk logistics.
We always do. 2-1 to Otis. She'll take a changeup low, 3-1. Boy, and it feels this game, even it felt big at a 3-run lead, the way Rothrock is pitching, but this feels giant now. A 5-0 lead with the way Rothrock is pitching. Rolling unleashes home. Swing and a scorch line drive to center. Goodnight back to her left, makes a shoulder-high catch in front of the track, and that's the opening out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, that was nice. A good jump by Dallas Goodnight in center over to her left. If not, that ball was hit hard and fast toward the warning track. If not for that great jump from Goodnight, could have been extra bases.
How about this? Layla Lamar is going to hit her first career NCAA tournament at bat. Obviously, Tim Walton, seeing how the first two had gone, swinging strikeouts for Cahalan, and it will be Lamar who will get a chance, her first at bat since the month of April. The daughter of Marissa Young, who, had she won that regional, would be in the other dugout for this super. Left on left. First pitch to Lamar is high. 4 of 17 in her debut year. The number 17 ranked recruit according to Division I softball.
Yeah, would have played a lot more had this not been such a deep lineup for the Gators.
Lefty power bat. 1-0. She'll swing, fist one foul to the screen.
Yeah, we saw her get her first career hit here in front of her mother and father, who were both here down the third base line.
Yeah, Mr. Lamar is the head coach of the Lady Dukes, very popular club team. 1-1, 5-0 Gators home fifth. Pitch, a changeup, wanders out. 2-1 here to Layla.
And I already like the start to this AB. Held the bat on her shoulder 2 times of the first 3 pitches she sees, and this is where you start to get really jittery. Hasn't affected her just yet.
Rolling's 2-1. Bouncer foul at home plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Committed to the University of Florida, did Layla. In 6th grade. That's before all the recruiting rules changed. Loves the medical program here at UF. Big senior year of high school. At 5.52. Pitch. Low and away. 3 balls, 2 strikes. She is just a pure hitter. Right now doesn't quite have a defensive position, and good luck cracking this lineup as well. But maybe this is a role that gets carved out for her as this NCAA tournament rolls along. Payoff. That hitter went high and in, so Lamar gets the job done, gets on. That one high and in. Finds herself on base, but a really good at bat there for Layla. And now Holtorf to hit.
And a nightmare scenario for Randy Rolling. You needed to get this out. Still just 1 out on the board, and that might be it for Rolling.
Yeah, I think they're going to go to the lineup card here, and Tony Baldwin's going to take the ball. Lamar, great job. Probably we'll see a pinch runner over at first base on the other side. Cahalan might re-enter. And we will have a new arm coming in. Rachel Gibson will tell you all about her when we come back. 5-0 Gators here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-run home run from Ava Brown in the frame. All the Gator runs coming on 2 power home run swings. We'll have a Meldon Law pitching change. As we step aside, this pitching change brought to you by Meldon Law. They won't back down, the only official law partner of your Florida Gators.
Hi, I'm Coach Steve Spurrier, and I am a member of the Campus USA Credit Union. The Gator Nation has been counting on Campus USA Credit Union for over 80 years. Campus supports the Gators and our community. Campus membership is open to all UF students, faculty, staff, and alumni. Come see why over 100,000 members like me count on Campus USA Credit Union. So put some star power to work in your financial life. Visit campuscu.com and join today.
Gator Nation, this season it's time to act for the greener good. UF and GFL are making great strides to reduce our footprint, and you can help. Recyclable and compostable paper products, cups, straws, and food waste receptacles are available at the stadium. Look for the signs and put it in the right can, Greener Gator fan. Think green as you cheer on the orange and blue. Call GFL at 1-800-535-9533 or visit us at gflenv.com. GFL, green for life.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Florida with a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th against Georgia. Rachel Gibson, the senior righty, replacing Randy Rolling, making her 20th appearance on the year. 305 batting average and just under 44 innings of work.
Most run of her career, 43 2/3 innings. She pitched just 1 inning in the regional. The Gators have 5-0 lead with a 2-run home run in the inning. They need to find a way to keep it here. Runner at first, re-entering in is Kenley Cahalan after Layla Lamar got hit by a pitch in her pinch hit appearance. Here's now Riley Holtorf. Takes the first from the righty, a strike, lower outside corner.
Well, how about this for Gibson? Prior to that inning of work against Duke, she hadn't pitched, she hadn't been on the field for over a month.
Former Clemson Tiger deals in an 0-1 that swerves out 1-1.
Yeah, right now, 7 games started this year, 305 average, that 6-2 record, and 42 2/3, giving up 34 hits, walked 30, struck out 36.
1-1 on its way, dips low. 2 balls and a strike.
Giving up a double and 4 home runs in those 44 innings. 214 batting average against for the senior from Ringgold, Georgia.
Spins the arm at a 2-1 off the end of the bat, slowly rolls Gibson bare hands, throws the first just in time to get Holtorf. Down to second goes Cahalan. That's the second out of the inning. That was bang bang, but it looked to be naked eye that Holtorf is out, goes 1-3. Runner in scoring position now for the top of the lineup in Kendra Falby. That thing had wicked spin on it, hit off the very end of the bat. And with that, makes it a little bit more difficult to pick that up on the bare hand if you're Gibson.
I thought she beat it out on the run down the first base side. That was about as close as it gets. But you get those 4 umpires on the infield. You feel pretty confident on the initial call.
5-0 Gators, 2 in here in the home 5th after the 2-run home run from Ava Brown. Reagan Walsh had a 3-run round tripper in the first. Now Falby to the plate, a whole new batch of softballs here. As Brian Crochet is holding on to all of them right now like his newborn kids.
He has a couple of them in his mask right now. Got to store the extra ones somewhere. Put them in your socks.
Infield is in for Falby. Curve, rise, drop, and change for Gibson. Change is her go-to. First pitch up the elevator for ball 1. Well, here's something that you don't say often. Kendra Falby's 0 for 3. She's been on base in every game except for 2 all year. Has lined out twice and grounded out to second. The next to it. Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes.
This could be your last chance right here in the 5th.
Cahalan at second base. There are 2 gone in the inning. The senior from Odessa, Florida awaits. Changeup down center. 2-1. The normal routine for Falby takes that front foot, plants it outside the chalk of the batter's box, and adjusts those white batting gloves. Stands back in. On a 2-1, that's blasted into the gap. Right center field, and it's off the wall. Coming in to score is Cahalan. In feet first is Kendra Falby with a ribby double, and it's 6-0 Gators. Oh, she was due, and smoked one into the gap in right center for an RBI 2-bagger.
This has been such an incredible season for Kendra with the big hit, and that was a big hit. Kendra Falby, 9 doubles on the year, and RBI number 34.
Career high in ribbies now for Kendra Falby, as she's been in that territory with career high ribbies. Well, now, if Shoemaker homers here, that's the ball game. Left-handed hitter, first pitch from Gibson is outside.
That was one of my favorite stats to track this year was Kendra Falby's RBI totals. Such an amazing player that just didn't get an opportunity for a lot of RBI. To have 35 as the number 1 batter in the order, that's a heck of a good season.
1-0. Shoemaker eyes a changeup high, 2-0. 87th hit for Kendra Falby. That ties her 7th in school history for a single season. Shoemaker is 1 away from tying the school record in home runs. A 2-0. Takes in the dirt, 3 balls, no strikes, and she will not see anything to hit. Has walked in all 3 plate appearances, all on 5 pitches. And Gibson, the strategy here, none too different. Pitch. That's a strike in her half. And if Shoemaker home runs, there's history on the flip side for the Gator pitcher. Keegan is not allowed a hit. Falby at second. 3-1. Changeup, lower inside corner strike. All right, 3-2. It's the first time we've seen 2 strikes on Shoemaker in this game. Has not recorded an official at bat. Gibson unleashes. Foul back to the screen. That's the first real swing we've seen from Shoemaker.
Yeah, and I like it. We're getting an actual battle here. This is what you want to see. It's Shoemaker, the freshman, stepping up in these big moments. She just needs the chance to.
Gators get a fourth straight run rule. 3-2. That's low. Full count walk this time. At least Shoemaker got a swing. She'll throw down that arm guard, I'm sure, with a little bit of frustration. But will be on base now for a fourth consecutive plate appearance. And now Erickson to the plate, who was able to walk it off with a game-ending grand slam in the regional against Florida Atlantic. Gators up 6-0, bottom of the fifth with 2 outs, and first and second. Jossie's been hit, has struck out, and had an infield hit. 1 for 2. All Gators today, all runs driven in on extra base hits. Gibson, the righty, her first. That's outside, 1-0. We talk about Erickson sort of not having the same year in terms of the accolades. And last year, she was the Division I Player of the Year. If you look down at the numbers, she has 15 home runs. That ties her for the most in her career. 1-0, high and away. 2 balls, no strikes, and she's knocking down the door of 60 RBI.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's considered what? An off year now for Jocelyn Erickson, just considering what she was able to do last year. Just came onto the scene with an explosion.
Welcome to the world of high expectations. 2-0, foul, back to the screen, back and left. 2-1. That image of Jocelyn Erickson when she rounds third after a home run, stirring the sauce. They call her Saucy Jossie. 56% of her hits this year for extra bases. Awaits. She'll swing and loop one in the air left side. This will land foul. 2-2 now to Erickson. First and second. Gators a 6-0 lead. Another run in this inning on the Ribby double with 2 outs on the 9th double of the year for Kendra Fulby into the gap in right center. Extending her hit streak to 7 straight. A 2-2 is lace in the air. Shallow left field. Coming in is Goodwin to make the catch. And that'll end the inning. For the Gators, they're able to tack on a total of 3 more in the inning. Not just that Ribby double. You almost forget about it, but you don't want to. 2-run home run from Ava Brown also in the inning. The Gators putting up 3 more runs here in the 5th. First, that home run from Brown, her 11th out to straightaway center field. Then that run-scoring double for Kendra Falvey has made this 6-zip. We now head to the 6th here in Game 1 of the Supers.
When you think of great-tasting hickory smoked sausage, you think of Conecuh Sausage. Upgrade your tailgate and your taste buds with the highest quality meats and seasonings guaranteed to make your game day savory with the flavor that's been favored for over 75 years. However you choose to chomp on, you know with Conecuh Sausage you're getting true Southern flavor since 1947. Conecuh Sausage, proud partner of the Florida Gators.
Hi there, I'm Coach Steve Spurrier and a proud Campus USA Credit Union member. This year, Campus USA is celebrating their 90th birthday. That's 90 years of serving the Gator Nation. Campus supports the Gators and our community. All UF students, faculty, staff, and alumni are eligible for Campus USA Credit Union membership. So what are you waiting for? Become a member and join the party. Join today at campuscu.com. Insured by the NCAA.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
6-0. Florida leads Georgia here in the top of the 6th inning. Keegan Rothrock goes back to work for a chance at some history here in the Super Regionals. Georgia does not have a hit here heading into the 6th inning. They will have coming up to the plate 8-9-1 against Rothrock, who is 1 away from tying a season high in strikeouts. She has 5 in the early going, and considering the circumstances, this is the best that she has been pretty much all year.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Baldwin at this point, do you start to think about putting in some pinch hitters? Here's the weird thing, though. You're in the 6th, and your 8-9 batters have still only been up to the plate 1 time. Castori has flown out once. Moo Williams has 1 ground out. So you're down to your final 6 outs, and decision-making is key here, but you also want to see what your players can provide, like Castori.
So, it will be Emma Castori, who's 0 for 1, is flown out to right. 6-0 Gators. Right-handed hitter, just 224 on the year. First pitch from Rothrock, zips in a strike, outside corner. Gators, all the runs coming in via extra base hits, couple of home runs and a double. 1 strike offering. Swinging a ball ripped in the air, deep left field. Otis goes back, has to play it off the wall. Plays the carom nicely. Throw to second is late. Ball gets away, but backed up by the first baseman, Reagan Walsh. So the no-hitter's broken up here in the 6th. And a hard-hit double over the head of Otis and off the base of the left field wall. And Georgia is finally in business in the hit column.
Well, there we go. That's exactly what you needed if you're Georgia. A runner in scoring position already, and your number 9 batter, who's been pretty good for you this season, in Moo Williams.
So, Moo Williams to the plate. She's just a .230 hitter. Castori at second, corners in, 6-0 orange and blue. First pitch is a high pop fly, foul ground left field corner, twisting, turning, and that'll land over the Stacey Nelson Plaza. Couple of hard-hit balls here in the last 2 Rothrock offerings. Rothrock had faced the Dogs 3 times last year, including 5 2/3 in that SEC tournament championship run. Got the win that day. Deals in 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Also in that finale where the Gators had a 7-run 7th, went the distance. 7 innings that day. Rocking a 1-1. Williams fouls it back to the screen, 1-2. Had both winning decisions of that regular season series a year ago. So Rothrock has had success against the Dogs. 3-0 in 3 starts in 17 2/3. Coming into today. 1-2 to the plate. Fouled off to the right. Last year in the NCAA tournament for Keegan, 55 2/3 innings pitched. Just an absolute workhorse. Just over a 3 ERA. Runner at second for Georgia on a 1-2. That bounces in. Erickson thought about throwing on a back pick to second. Leadoff double from Emma Castori. At a 2-2. The strike 3! Tying a season high in Ks as Keegan gets a punch out as Williams stood frozen in that righty box.
Yeah, I think she thought it was a little too far inside, but either way now, humming is Keegan Rothrock, and a nice bounce back after giving up that leadoff double to Castori to start this frame.
So here's now Dallas Goodnight. First pitch, she'll loop one over third, and this will twist foul. Should say for Keegan, her season high is 7, not 6. She's 1 away from that season high. She got that twice. 7 strikeouts against Stetson and Auburn. Also Alabama. 3 times she's had those 7 Ks. So 1 more to get to that season high. 0-1 to Goodnight. It's a late swing and miss. Snap toss to second. Drop by Williams. Oh, they almost had Castori on that secondary lead.
Nice play, though, by Erickson. Saw it a lot more last year, just catching runners off the bag. That would be huge.
0-2. Foul back to the screen. Albert is sitting right behind home plate with his legs crossed. It's like, where's Waldo? Where in the world is Albert?
He's been everywhere.
He's on the camera well and now sitting behind home plate. Outfield shallow, wrapped around to the left for Dallas Goodnight. He's 0 for 2. Runner at second, 6-0 Gators. Pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball off the glove of Rothrock. It surfs into center, holding up his Castori at third. Falby was playing shallow and would field that one in stride. So now first and third with 1 out. First real danger here for Keegan Rothrock. Comes in the top of the 6th. That one again glancing off the glove of Keegan.
And it is adequate danger. You got your number 1 batter in Goodnight over to first now, and Castori, maybe a batter that you thought you could easily retire, now just 60 feet away from scoring the first run for Georgia. And Lindy Ray Davis, who's had some big hits, including this past weekend.
6 for 14 in the regional. Big lefty bat, first and third. First pitch is low and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Perhaps we might see a Stephanie Van Brakel pro throw circle meeting at some point. Gators still a 6-run cushion as we play in the top of the 6th. There is 1 out. First and third for the Dogs. 1-0 to the plate. Misses just a little bit low and away at 64. 2 balls, no strikes. Davis struck out looking, reached on an E4. There's 3 home runs this year, 2 of those in this month. On a 2-0. Off the plate outside, ball 3. Lindy Ray Davis is 11 walks away from 5th in Georgia history. Has 122 in her career. As a grad student. Corners in. Rothrock's 3-0. Outer half strike. 71. Also elsewhere, Arkansas Ole Miss underway. They changed their start time due to weather. 3-3 tie. Rebs and Razorbacks. 2 of the 3 All-SEC Supers doing battle at the current moment. 3-1 of the play. Davis swings, jolts one off to the left, and that'll be foul to the final row of seats down that left side in the blue chairback seats.
Nice job by Rothrock. 3 balls outside the zone. 2 straight down the pipe for Davis. And a full count.
Lindy Ray Davis back in. Payoff. Swing and a pop-up. Shallow left field and foul ground. Going out. Cahalan can't make the catch over the shoulder. As Otis and Cahalan almost collide, it was Otis who undercut Cahalan, who went down shoulder first, and that ball just aimlessly landing on the natural grass down the left field line and foul ground.
Yeah, good thing nobody touched that ball. That would have been an easy run-in for Georgia.
Probably an easier ball for Otis to try and come in and make a play on as opposed to Cahalan going out. So it lands foul, remains 3-2. 6-0 Gators top 6. Runners at the corners for Georgia. And there's 1 out in the inning. Payoff part 2. It's just fouled off the end of the bat behind home. Lindy Ray Davis, 281 hitter. Hits in 3 of the 4 regional games. Hits in 4 of her last 5. Another payoff. Goes around. Oh, the appeal. They say she did not go for ball 4, and then the Gators throw it away down to first. Erickson thought it was a strikeout and a throw down to first, and instead the throwaway brings in a run.
Wait,
no, now the home plate
out.
umpire is saying that he made the call that she went around and she's out. Then they appealed to third and said she did not go. So then the Gators threw down to first, and Erickson threw it away, and now they changed the call to a no swing. And a run scores. It's now 6-1.
That's wild. I mean, there he even made the signal that she was out. So what are the Gators supposed to do except respond to the home plate umpire? I get it now. You just want to keep the game moving, but man, that's frustrating.
Well, looking at the replay, it looks like Lindy Ray Davis broke her wrist and clearly went around on a swing. Clearly went around on a swing. And Brian Crochet said, yeah, she went around. And then even with him saying she went around, for some reason, he appealed down to third. And then the third base umpire, Joe Haverhill, said she didn't.
Wow.
And with the thought of a strikeout in the back of Jossie's mind, she threw down to first. That throw got away and allowed the run from third and Castori to score to make it a 6-1 game, and now first and second.
Wow. That is a huge play. I'm surprised we didn't see any more response from the coaching staff for Florida. That was a bad call by the umpires. Wow. And on top of that, if you're the home plate umpire, you're deciding what's happening on the field. And to allow that to happen, I mean, that's frustrating for Florida. You're hoping things break your way after that.
So now, first and second for the Dogs. 1 out. Tyler Ellison to the plate. Right-handed hitter. First adversity. 2 hits in this game for the Dogs, both in this inning. Gators still a 6-1 lead. First pitch to the righty bat Ellison in the basement, ball 1. Well, now is the time. You've built this 6-run cushion to take a deep breath. You have 5 outs to get. Rothrock at the ready on a 1-0. That bounces in, chested down by Erickson. Everybody stays put 2-0. We had a long meeting. Stephanie Van Brakel Prothro went out for the first time today during that stoppage. 2 balls, no strikes. Here to Tyler Ellison. 2-0 home. That's a strike in her paint. 2-1.
And here for Rothrock, just got to shake this off. It's been a rough inning so far and a couple calls that have just not gone your way. Got to pick it up.
Good night at second. Lindy Ray Davis at first. And a 2-1. That's high. 3 balls and a strike.
And we've seen things kind of change as the outing has continued. A lot of first pitch strikes early in this game from Rothrock. Things have gone the other way in the 5th and 6th.
Nearing 100 pitches. Her 95th is a foul tip at home plate. 3-2 here to Tyler Ellison. 1 out, top of the 6th. 1 run in here for Georgia. Gators a 6-1 lead in Game 1 of the Super Regionals from KSP. A payoff. A foul back and right. Runners in scoring position for Ellison, a .333 hitter. She's 0 for 2 today. Both of her outs to Shoemaker and Wright. Minimal win to speak of. Payoff part 2. Doesn't chase. Change up low and away. Tying run still remains on deck, but the base is now loaded. Ava Brown is getting warm in the pitching lab.
How that one call really changed and swung momentum just a bit. I wouldn't say Georgia has the momentum now, but you make a call like that, you think you get a strikeout. Sorry to continue harping on that, but those things matter, especially deep in the ballgame.
Bases juice for Jaden Goodwin. Lefty bat and fouls the first behind home plate, strike 1.
It's not like it was a nobody batter either. Lindy Ray Davis, one of the more productive bats in the order, and you're setting up better opportunities for Tyler Ellison and now Jaden Goodwin.
Goodwin struck out on the second for just the 10th time all year. The lefty awaits an 0-1. She'll swing, golf one foul again, back and right, 0-2. 6-1 Gators, 1 run in here in the 6th. Tying run still remains on deck. Big power jump this year for Goodwin, 11 home runs. 6 of those against SEC opponents. 2-strike pitch. Goes around, this time no doubt on the sword, and that ties a season high with 7 Ks for number 7. A giant strikeout with the bases juiced.
Perfect description of that, Kyle. A huge, huge strikeout there. And now you got to get this final one against a really good bat in Sarah Gordon.
4-time with at least 7 Ks. Now it's Gordon. Righty bat fouls the first one behind home. 6-1 Gators, top 6. Bases loaded. Infield can drift back as well as the outfield now with 2 away. Gordon's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out to shallow right. Rothrock steers one in. High and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here to Sarah Gordon, native of Lexington, South Carolina. 0 for 2 on a 5-game hit streak entering. Led the Dogs in SEC play in runs driven in and hits. 1-1 to her. It's a swing and a high pop fly. This should end the inning. Otis comes in towards the line. Right on the chalk. Makes the grab with 2 hands. And the base is left loaded. 1 run comes in for Georgia on a fluke. What everybody in the ballpark thought was a strikeout, but turned into a check swing, an errant throw down to first, and the Dogs able to score their first run. They leave them loaded in the inning. They get their first 2 hits against Rothrock in the frame, who's tied a season high with 7 Ks, middle of 6. Gators in front of Georgia in Game 1, 6-1.
We get it. Attention spans just aren't what they used to be. Heads in social media and eyes on Netflix. But what do people do with their ears? Well, for one, they're listening to audio. Americans spend 4.4 hours with audio every day. Oh, and you want the proof? Well, you just sat through this ad that's now approaching 30 seconds. What could you say to a potential customer in 30 seconds? Let Odyssey put together a media plan tailor-made for your unique marketing needs. Advertise with Odyssey. Visit ads.odyssey.com.
Life's big moments start with one question. Are you ready?
Will you marry me?
Yes!
Ready to embrace the future? Ready to take that next step?
Maybe it's time for a bigger place.
And when you're ready, we're ready too.
Congrats on your new home.
At Radiant Credit Union, we're here to help make your home ownership dreams come true with home loans designed to fit your changing needs. So when you're ready, let's get started. Visit radiantcu.org today. Federally insured by the NCAA.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
New pitcher in the circle here in the bottom of the 6th for the Bulldogs. It's going to be Destin Howard replacing Rachel Gibson, who had checked in just for the 5th. So now Howard making appearance number 13 on the season, a 6.60 ERA, 11 2/3 innings worked this year, 13 hits allowed, 11 earned runs, 23 walks in those 11 innings. 5 strikeouts. She's allowed a double and a home run. Opponents hitting .255 against her. Did have a very quick outing against Duke in the regional. A third of an inning, gave up a hit through just 5 pitches. And now I don't think this is waving the white flag for Coach Tony Baldwin, but it is saying, hey, let's try to preserve some of our arms that we might really need for games 2 and 3.
Presume it will be Lily Backus tomorrow for Georgia, another lefty arm. The Gators have had some success against in the past, formerly a North Carolina Tar Heel. So Destin Howard now, the junior from Macon, Georgia. Second straight righty bat, a righty pitcher rather for Georgia, and Reagan Walsh to the plate. First pitch is low and away. Gators a 6-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. You can hear this crowd. Got here bright and early today. Breakfast with the Gators just past 1 Eastern now. Howard's 1-0. Walsh goes around on a sword. We've seen a lot of those half hacks today on both sides. Walsh had that 3-run home run that broke the ice. It was her first home run since the Oklahoma series, final weekend of the regular year in May. 14th of the year, and now 60 RBI, an even number. 1-1. Goes around again. She checked her swing. Yes. Said Aaron Peterson at first. Some of the Bronx cheers in the last inning.
Hey, at this point, seems like you could go past the plate and still get called for a ball.
2-1 now to Walsh. Howard's pitch is popped up off of third. Angling back towards the right. Moore Williams gives way for the shortstop. Emily Digby makes a sliding catch on that sidewall dirt. And after that home run for Reagan Walsh, we've seen a lot of pop-outs. In fact,
all
Reagan, 3 consecutive all to Digby.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot of action, gotten that jersey dirty just off of plays from Reagan Walsh.
Here's now Mia Williams, has reached twice, both on a walk, has flown out to center. 6-1 Gators, bottom 6. First pitch shortens, watches that one, curve out at 72. Howard, a hard thrower. Screw at 70 to 71, a drop in the 70s, a changeup in the 60s. The righty's 1-0. That's a strike, a drop. And it's 1-1. Walks, though, way too high this season for Howard. Entered in 23 walks to just 5 strikeouts. He's had 2 appearances this year with 4 walks in an inning or less in the circle. 1-1. That goes to the backstop, and voila. Example A. That pitch went all the way to the mesh behind home. 2-1. Can be described more of a thrower than a pitcher.
Oof, that's not what you want.
And the scouting report is be on time. Very firm. Means comes in hard. 2-1. Pops the mitt outer half, strike 2. A game 2 tomorrow, whether it's the Gators on a chance for a ticket to the World Series or Georgia trying to even up the series. 10:45 a.m. Eastern for the On Deck Show. 11:05 will be first pitch time. Howard steers it in. Low and away, count full. We do know these two will do it again here in Gainesville in the morning. What's on the line right now is the Gators their first win in a super against Georgia in their 5th attempt. Payoff on its way is a swing and a ball looped in the air, shallow left field. Over towards the line is Jaden Goodwin to make the catch for the second out of the inning. So extra base hits have been the name of the game today. It's not been death by 1,000 cuts here for the Gators, but you take it any way you can get it. And one of those big gashes today was that 2-run home run to center for Ava Brown on an 8-game hit streak, a multi-hitter today. First pitch to Ava, jabs at it, takes a strike from the right side, 0-1. Has been a different player of late in this 8-game hit streak. 3 home runs in the NCAA tournament. Pitch, she'll take low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Homer against FAU and Mercer in the regional. Homer twice in the final regular season series against Oklahoma. On the heels of a 13 home run season last year, has hit 11 this year. 1-1, she'll swing and loft one in the air. Playable right center. Good night, the center fielder to her right makes the catch in the gap. And the Gators go down quietly in the bottom of the 6th inning. But Keegan Rothrock presumably will come back out to get the final 3 outs and put the Gators 1 win away from a trip to Oklahoma City. It's the Gators 6, Georgia 1, top 7 next.
To all our Gators softball fans listening in, stay in the game and play by the rules. Put down your phone and set aside all other distractions. One text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving around the entire softball diamond twice with your eyes closed. To win while driving, you must focus. Put it down and focus on driving to arrive alive. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles.
Gator Nation, this season it's time to act for the greater good. UF and GFL are making great strides to reduce our footprint, and you can help. Recyclable and compostable paper products, cups, straws, and food waste receptacles are available at the stadium. Look for the signs and put it in the right can, Greener Gator fan. Think green as you cheer on the orange and blue. Call GFL at 1-800-535-9533 or visit us at gflenv.com. GFL, green for life.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Gators 3 outs away from a Game 1 win in this Gainesville Super Regional. Gators 6, Georgia 1. Florida has driven in runs on 3 extra base hits. 3-run home run from Reagan Walsh in the first. Ava Brown, a 2-run blast and a 3-run fifth. And an RBI double from Kendra Falby. That has rounded out the Gators scoring today. Well, for Georgia, their last chance to dance here is with 6, 7, and 8. Emily Digby, Marissa Miller, and Emily Castori barring any pinch hitters. And how about today, Sky? Keegan Rothrock, 1 strikeout away from a new season high with 7 Ks.
Yeah, she's been on one. We finally saw some struggles in the 6th. You got that double from Castori and then a couple walks and a single from Goodnight. You got a bad call at one point that didn't help you out either. And then an error earlier in this game as well. Those have really been the only blips, so apart from that, this is the Rothrock you were hoping for going into the regional and the super regional. And so far, she's delivered when Florida's needed her most. And hoping to get out of this one quickly because they might need her arm as soon as tomorrow if things get tough in the later innings.
I can see Rothrock getting the starting nod tomorrow in Game 2. Emily Digby, right-handed bat. First pitch is a strike at the knees. Georgia was being no-hit going into the 6th inning. They had 2 hits in that frame and a run that came in on a wacky non-strikeout call and what was then called a check swing. 0-1. Low and away. That run came in unearned, by the way. It was an E2 on Jocelyn Erickson on a throw down to first that went errant and allowed a run to score from third. That lends us to 6-1 Gator lead, top 7. 1-1 to Digby. Swings and curls one foul to the net. 1-2. Join us on Twitter or X, whatever you call it nowadays, for our Twitter Spaces. Amanda Lorenz will join us, a Gator great. And as soon as we go off the air of our postgame show, we will be on Twitter taking your questions. 1-2 from Rothrock. A non-chase from Digby, a laser beam low and away, and it's 2-2. Digby's 0 for 1, was hit by a pitch, was the first Georgia base runner in the second, and struck out in the fifth. Awaits on a 2-2. High and away, count full.
Don't want to walk any batters here. You got the game in your hands.
Georgia had the bases loaded in the last inning and the tying run on deck. Payoff on its way. Low and in, full count walk. Well, for Keegan, that is now for her. She has those 7 strikeouts. I have 3 walks. They have 2 in the official stats. You tell me, Sky, am I wrong?
I have 3, but I think one of them is from that Lindy Ray Davis.
You're saying she reached on an eat 2, but it should have been a walk, right?
Yeah.
That should be 3. I think that's incorrect. If anything, Sky, as well, that's the 3rd walk that is on a full count.
Yeah.
For Rothrock.
I mean, she was ahead to start that count, so good job by Digby to work that around.
So it should be 3rd walk here for Rothrock. We're going to have a pinch hitter, actually a pinch runner.
It's going to be number 24, Paisley Allen from Louisville, Texas, making her 44th appearance on the year.
So Allen will run it first, 6-1 Gators, nobody out, top 7. Handed to Phil is a pinch hitter, so they do go to a pinch hitter here from the right side. She'll take a strike, lower inside edge. DeVille is hitting for Marissa Miller. This in the 7th spot. She's a .350 hitter, a homer, 4 runs driven in with 3 runs scored. Next to her, low and in.
Yeah, only 20 ABs on the season, though. Did have a big double against Duke in the regional this past weekend.
So Hannah DeVille hits here, and we'll have a meeting inside the circle. Ava Brown was getting warm. It's a 1-1 count. Now the umpire comes out. Not sure if there's some sort of a reason for a stoppage. Caitlin Towers is coming out, the trainer.
So Rothrock's looking at her pointer finger on her right hand.
It's a Band-Aid, it looks like, that Caitlin Towers has, the head athletic trainer. So, and it's already bandaged, by the way. They're just re-bandaging the, I believe that is her, I think it's her left hand, not even her, no, that's her right hand. That's her throwing hand. Looks to be the index finger that is she's re-bandaging up, and then Caitlin Towers putting some tape over it. You know, sometimes when you see the trainer come out, you're like, oh my goodness. But this is just to reapply a bandage and some tape here for Rothrock to her pitching hand. Could be a blister or anything along those lines.
Yeah, always scary though. Just because we saw Rothrock miss a part of this year with injuries. Part of the reason she had a slow return back to form.
Runner at first, 6-1 Gators, handed to Villa at the plate, and a 1-1. She'll swing, a little half swing, and a couple hopper to second. Runner runs into Williams, glove flies. That'll be runner interference. She's out. Impeded Mia Williams from making the play on the ground ball. So the lead runner is out, and Tony Baldwin's going to get his money's worth here with second base umpire Stephen Gould.
I'm sorry, but that was about as clear as it gets for runner interference. And if you are Digby, you gotta, or I'm sorry, Allen in that case, and that'd be the second pinch runner error there. That was a play that you kind of hold up or try to race past, and then you make Mia Williams make the play on a very quick reaction time. I just don't think that is even a questionable call. They're probably gonna review this though. I mean, I thought that was obvious, Kyle. What'd you think?
Yeah, it looks like Williams was making a play on it.
Georgia is challenging the interference call, going to second base.
So they're going to take a look at this. Williams was stepping in, trying to field it, and she has a right to the ball. And it was the pinch runner, Allen, who essentially went right into Mia Williams. The glove went flying. And the call on the field, you need to see something that is indisputable to overturn it.
Yeah, I think
it occurs, Sky, when base runner hinders the fielder's ability to make a play on a batted ball or throw. I think that fits that category.
Well, we get another look at it right here. That was a hopper, so on a couple skips past Rothrock, and then you could just see it. It's pretty clear that Allen is right in front of Mia Williams. Williams doesn't do anything, maybe extends those arms because she had to, or else she's careening right into Allen. I think that this is an easy confirmation of the call. I don't see how you change things if you're Georgia. I don't know what the argument is.
Well, you also got to challenge it here. You got to challenge the obstruction on the field because you got to do something here. You're down 5 runs here. You got to find a way to get multiple runners on base. Now, there's a centralized location. In SEC play, it's Birmingham. In the NCAA tournament, it's Pittsburgh. So everything is being watched at a centralized location in Pittsburgh, PA. And they are talking to 2 of our 4-member umpire crew. Gators a 6-1 lead, top of the 7th.
I mean, can you say that Mia Williams slowed herself up in order to be interfered with? Is that even a call that you can make? Well, it looks like they've already made confirmation on what the
fielders have the right to occupy the space needed to field a ball. That's the wording in the rule book.
Here we go.
Along with Fort Minor, here is our head man, Stephen Gould.
After review, the call has been upheld. It is interference. Georgia has been challenged first.
So you got to challenge it if you're Tony Baldwin. He doesn't like it. He's shaking his head in the dugout.
I just don't know what else Mia Williams is supposed to do in that situation. Same thing for Digby. It's a bad situation to be, or excuse me, Allen again, the pinch runner. It's a hard situation to be in, but it's just the call on the field.
So here's Emma Castori. 6-1 Gators, 1 out, runner at first. First pitch to the righty bat is flared on a line. Walsh makes the catch in foul ground off of the first base bag. She bobbled it in the heel of her glove and with her offhand helped gather the softball into the leather. And the Gators 1 out away from a Game 1 win.
Wow. What a play from Reagan Walsh. That one rolled against her body, was able to keep it in.
Gator fans will rise to their feet. 6-1 Florida. Runner at first, top 7. First pitch to Mua Williams. Righty bat high and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Rothrock looking for a complete Game 2 hitter and put the Gators 1 win away from Oklahoma City. Fires. Strike right down the middle. Game 2 will be an 11 a.m. start. 10:45 beginning to our coverage. One. Check swing, foul and home plate. Now the Dogs down to their final strike, and this would be the first ever win for the Gators over Georgia in a super regional. Perhaps some of those demons flying a long, long ways away from KSP with just 1 win. And the pitch. Swing and a high fly ball should do it. Shallow right field. Shoemaker to her left makes the catch. And the Gators down the Dogs here in Game 1. Florida is 1 step closer to the Women's College World Series. The Gators had been searching for that first super regional win against Georgia. They have found it. And perhaps some of those demons have gone away for now. 1 more win, and the Gators will find themselves to a 13th World Series in school history. The celebration at the moment is muted. The Gators hope that 24 hours from now there's a dog pile where they're standing at the current minute. Well, we'll step aside. Postgame show coming up. Big bats on display for the Orange and Blue. 6-1 final. Gators beat Georgia. Postgame after this on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Carla only has the best tech. Can't connect to network. But she didn't have the best internet. So she got Cox multi-gig speeds to power all her... Now, all her tech is... connected. Give your tech the speed it deserves. Get our top-tier internet with Cox multi-gig. 2 gig download speeds. Individual speeds vary. See Cox.com for details.
Chemical Dynamics has been providing crop nutrient solutions to farmers for over 50 years. As a family-owned and operated business, we are committed to providing high-quality products and extraordinary service for our customers. Our range of products, competitive prices, and expert technical support is proof that our business is to help you grow. To learn more, visit www.chemicaldynamics.com. Chemical Dynamics, proudly supporting Gator baseball and softball.
Go Gators!
We all expect quality in our service providers. The word itself means the degree of excellence of something. Now throw in the word plumbing after that, and it would mean the excellence of plumbing. And that's exactly what our community has been getting for 4 decades from the fine folks at Quality Plumbing. Now you can always spend time and money trying to fix things yourself, or you can call the professionals at Quality Plumbing and get it done right the first time. Quality Plumbing since 1984. Their name says it all. License number CFC 043073.
When the unexpected happens, you need a legal team that's ready to fight for you, just like the Florida Gators. At Meldon Law, we're proud to partner with the Florida Gators to deliver winning results for those who have been injured at no fault of their own. With a strong record of success and a team that won't back down, Meldon Law is your trusted partner in tough times. Call Meldon Law at 352-373-8000 or visit us at meldonlaw.com.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
7th win of the year, their 4th consecutive. Well, it puts them one step closer to that ultimate goal, getting them to the Women's College World Series for a 13th time in school history. They're all huddled up right now in shallow left field. That is conversation led by the longtime head coach Tim Walton, and this crowd leaving happy today. In 24 hours from now, perhaps they'll have a lot bigger celebration. There's a lot more that needs to be done as the Gators need one more win. But they take a 1-0 advantage in this best-of-3 Super Regional Series, and the Gators, or I should say, in Super Regional history, when they moved to this format, Sky, when a team has won Game 1, the numbers say about 80% of the time that team who wins Game 1 goes on to play in the World Series. So far, so good. Take it through the scoring here on our post-game show. Reminder, we'll have a full conversation on Twitter Spaces. Hope that you can join us. Amanda Lorenz, 4-time All-American, Gator great, will join us as part of that conversation. We'll take a lot of fan questions and comments and reaction here from this game today. But first, on the radio side, on our post-game show, we take you through how this game played out today. 6-1 final score. Gators 6 runs on 6 hits, 2 errors, 9 left. For Georgia, a run on 2 hits, no errors, and 5 left on base. Keegan Rothrock was the winning pitcher today, 15-5 now on the year, and Randy Rolling takes the loss, falls to 11-9. Gators, now, this was Sky's key coming in. Score first. Why not score in the first inning? The Gators did so with a 3-run shot. After the first out, Kendra Falvey would line out to second. Randy Rolling in her start went 4 to third, but to start in that first would walk Shoemaker on 5 pitches, then hit Jocelyn Erickson, and then Reagan Walsh would send one to the moon out in left center field on the back slope of that pitching lab roof out in left field, her 14th of the year. And the Gators now 38-2 when they score first, and they're 28-3 when they score in the first inning. But the offense, that sort of subsided from then on out. Innings 2 through 4, it was nothing but zeros. Rothrock would throw up another 0 in the top of the 5th inning. And then the Gators, who had scored all their runs today on extra base hits, did so once again in the 5th inning. After a 4-pitch walk to Mia Williams, who put the leadoff batter on base. That was the first time in this game that the Gators had a leadoff batter on base. Didn't get one until the 5th inning. And then at the plate, Ava Brown for her 3rd home run of the NCAA tournament. This one out off the batter's eye in that camera well in center field, her 11th home run of the year. And when it landed, the Gators would have a 5-0 lead. Then 2 outs, and Kendra Falvey coming to the plate with a runner on base at second for Kendra Falvey. She would sting a double out to right center field. One of those rare grip and rip doubles for Kendra Falvey, shopping in the gap in right center. RBI 34 adds to a career best total, her 9th 2-bagger of the year. And that would end the Gators scoring on the day. 6 runs through 5 innings. Georgia would add a run in the 6th inning. They would start to get to Keegan Rothrock. Their only 2 hits came in that 6th, including a leadoff double from Emma Castorius. Keegan Rothrock just got a Gatorade bath. She's doing the TV interview. I'm sure our buddy Hank, our audio guy, loves the fact that that brand new expensive headset just got doused in Gatorade down that third base line. But Castori would have a double to lead off that would break up a 5-inning no-hitter for Keegan Rothrock. The first hit for Georgia did not come until the 6th inning. And then 2 batters later, Goodnight would single. a walk and a walk. A run would come in, though, on an E2. It was first and third. They thought they had Lindy Ray Davis down on a check swing for a strikeout. Instead, the appeal down to third was that she did not go. But on the replay, it looked like she definitely did go. And then Erickson, thinking it was a strikeout, threw down to first on a back pick. And the throw got away. That allowed Castori to score and did not allow Rothrock to throw up a shutout here today, but Rothrock would get a strikeout and a flyout to end that inning. The Dogs would leave the bases loaded and go down quietly into the night as Keegan, for a fourth time this year, would have 7 strikeouts. That would tie a season high for her. So Rothrock, 7 innings, 2 hits, a run that was not earned, 2 walks, I should say 3 walks. The official stat line, I think, is 1 walk off. Should be 3 walks here for Keegan Rothrock today. And 119 pitches. Randy Rowling gets the loss in her start. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 walks for her, 4 strikeouts, and 105 pitches. Rachel Gibson, the Clemson transfer, came in through 2/3 of an inning, no runs on a hit, and then Destin Howard pitched a spotless inning through 13 pitches. Most likely will be Lily Backus, the left-hander for Georgia, who will see the start in Game 2 with a win for the Gators would send them to Oklahoma City. So still a lot more to do. One segment of our postgame left. Skylar Braun will get his thoughts right after this. Our final score in Game 1. Gators win it 6-1. Postgame rolls along next on the Gator Sports Network from Learfield.
Gator Nation, this season it's time to act for the greater good. UF and GFL are making great strides to reduce our footprint, and you can help. Recyclable and compostable paper products, cups, straws, and food waste receptacles are available at the stadium. Look for the signs and put it in the right can, Greener Gator fan. Think green as you cheer on the orange and blue. Call GFL at 1-800-535-9533 or visit us at gflenv.com. GFL, green for life.
To all our Gator softball fans listening in, stay in the game and play by the rules. Put down your phone and set aside all other distractions. One text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. At 55 miles per hour, that's like driving around the entire softball diamond twice with your eyes closed. To win while driving, you must focus. Put it down and focus on driving to arrive alive. Brought to you by the Florida Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles.
Hey, it's Steve Russell for Hurricane BTW, where every day feels like the weekend. Fresh, never frozen chicken wings, tossed in over 30 bold flavors, paired with ice-cold beer, all in a laid-back, beachy atmosphere. And with every game on the big screens, it's the ultimate escape in your home for sports, too. Great food, cold drinks, and all the games. That's Hurricane BTW. Escape the ordinary and find your spot at hurricanewings.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/radio, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
Gators softball on ESPN 98.1 FM, 850 AM, WRUF.
Back here at the ballpark, final segment of our post-game show. Gators beat the Dogs 6-1. Consider the Demons gone for now. The Gators have beaten Georgia in a super regional game for the first time in their 5th ever all-time meeting. That's Skylar Braun. I'm Kyle Crooks. Rothrock was stellar today, as well as a couple of Gator home runs. Gators have now hit 105 home runs. They near the top spot for home runs in a single season. Also a big ribby double from Kendra Fulby. Sky, your thoughts on this one here today?
Hey, it just so happened that the key that I had actually ended up being a key to the game, which is the Gators score first, and that really set the tone. After that first inning, you could feel things swing hard in the favor of Florida. And with Rothrock working the way that she did, I mean, Georgia was just playing from behind from the absolute beginning of this ball game. After it was 3-0, that 3-0 lead felt like more just because of the lack of offense from the Bulldogs. Quick turnaround, you got tomorrow morning when you're already back here on the field ready to play, and it's going to be really important for that same thing, but I think for another reason in game number 2. It's going to be who gets off to the better start in the circle rather than who punches first, because you could get a quick 1-spot, 2-spot in the first, but whoever settles in and is really able to consistently get through the order the second, third time through, I think that will be the major difference for the Gators and the Bulldogs in game number 2. But overall here, you couldn't ask for more.